Nobody has lower fares than United to more cities across this land. North to south, east to west, only United has low fares to all 50 states.
You're not just flying, you're flying friendly skies.
The key man for the Dallas Sidekicks is Tattoo number 9. He leads the league in scoring. This goal here is one of the many reasons why he's a fan favorite in Dallas, tossing that jersey into the crowd. On the defensive side, saves like this by Chris Sobieski make him one of the league's top goalkeepers. He comes into the game with the lowest average in the league. For Baltimore, their success depends a lot on this man, Drago. The team is 9 wins and 2 losses since acquiring Drago in a trade with Chicago. ESPN and Bud Sports present the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week. This afternoon, the Dallas Sidekicks host the Baltimore Blast. Today's game is being brought to you by Budweiser, the genuine article. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Met, it pays. And by the 1987 German-engineered Volkswagen and your Volkswagen dealer.
Nothing makes your day like helping others make it on their own.
You bring out the pride we all feel inside.
It's going to be easy next week.
It's more than just the job you do. You make America work, and this Bud's for you.
Good work.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
So tell us, Mrs. Robinson, how do you like driving a new Volkswagen Vanagon with 1 husband, 3 daughters, 2 sons, 3 tents, 1 raft, 3 sleeping bags, 2 bicycles, 3 belly boards, 1 set of drums, 6 sets of earplugs, 1 barbecue, 10 bags of marshmallows, 2 tennis rackets, 1 tennis elbow, and more stuff than we ever got in our old minivan?
I don't hear anyone complaining, do you?
From the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, we're expecting a record crowd as the Dallas Sidekicks get set to host the Baltimore Blast. A pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Paul Della Camera. Alongside me, former MISL All-Star Ty Keogh, filling in today for Seamus Mallon. We should have a great game for you this afternoon, and if you don't believe us, just take a look at the standings. That tells you the story.
There's no doubt about it. This game is a big part of that 3-team dogfight for the first place in the Eastern Division. If Baltimore wins it, they'll pull within a half a game of Cleveland. If Dallas can win it, they'll pull into a tie for second place in this race in the Eastern Division.
Baltimore, red hot. They've won 8 straight games, so they're right on top with the rest of the leaders. And one of the reasons was the trade that brought Drago to the Blast.
Drago's the type of player you have to watch at all times. He can hurt you in different parts of the field. He seems to be able to find those dangerous positions that he can score from. Andy Chapman has done very well in this last game, 8-game winning streak for Baltimore. He's been a big factor offensively. Defensively, Bruce Savage will be marking Tattoo today. He's the best man-to-man marker in the league, some say, and he'll have a big job today to do.
Now for the Dallas Sidekicks, the key to their winning may not just be who is playing, but who isn't playing.
Well, we'll see Tattoo out there most probably today, although he is hobbled. This man, when he's healthy, can do it all over the field. Chris Sobieski, the goalkeeper for Dallas, one of the sharpest keepers on the line in the league, also very good with his feet. And missing from the lineup today for Dallas, their team captain and a big leader, the hard-nosed defender, Victor Moreland. They're going to have a difficult time making up for his absence.
We're expecting to see 2 of the league's top goalkeepers in action. Chris Sobieski comes into the game. Ranked number 1, Keith Van Aaron of the Blast, number 3. We've got Dallas and Baltimore up next, so stay with us.
Patient, dining table. Diagnosis, worn finish, no shine. Treatment, facelift.
Now there's a facelift for furniture. New Formby's Facelift, my secret for bringing dull furniture back to life. Facelift revives the shine without refinishing. In less than an hour, you can smooth away the wear and tear and lay down a bright new facelift finish that will shine for years to come. That's what Formby's facelift is all about. Making your furniture look alive and beautiful again without major surgery.
Think your cereal is nutritious? Put down your spoon and listen. Because a leading consumer magazine ranked 59 cold cereals on fiber, protein, sugar, sodium, and fat. And of those 59 cereals, they found 3 varieties of Nabisco shredded wheat topped the ratings, providing plenty of fiber and protein, no sugar, and very little sodium or fat. So before you pick up your spoon, pick up the leading cereal that topped the ratings, Nabisco shredded wheat.
Nabisco.
Welcome back to the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. John Paul Della Camera along with Ty Kia. We're ready. We hope you are too for Baltimore and Dallas. Taking a look at the starting goalkeepers. Keith Van Aaron for Baltimore, 3.50 goals against average, 10-4. 2 of those wins have come against Dallas. He also has 1 goal and 1 assist. Chris Sobieski the other way, 3.38 is his record. 17 wins and 10 losses. He leads the MISL in wins. We're underway in Dallas. Up the left side, Hayden Knight. Sending it for Tattoo, bothered by 2 hamstring problems. Leite, Marcio Leite to Hayden Knight. Now to Uremovich, the leading all-time shot blocker for Dallas, and Savage had Tattoo all tied up. In the all-time series, Baltimore has the edge big time, 10-2. 10 wins, 2 losses, and they've won both meetings this year, including a 2-0 shutout right here in this building. We want to remind you that the Blast and Sidekicks are sponsored by Patrick Soccer Uniforms. Patrick replica jerseys of the Blast and Sidekicks game jersey can be purchased at your local soccer equipment retailer. Patrick, the leader in soccer uniforms, shoes, and accessories. Sobieski dumping it right side. Now it's Uremovich off Leite. Mike Uremovich, an original sidekick. He was here when the team was poor 3 years ago as a new club, winning only 12 games. They've turned it around. Hayden Knight, faking. Now plays it right side. Uremovich. It's scoreless. We've just started. The game not quite yet a minute old. Marcio Leite. Along with Tattoo, they call him down here affectionately the Boys of Brazil. Uremovich. For Leite, he fell down as Michael Brady, one of the top young American players in the game, getting a starting assignment here for Baltimore. Up for Drago, number 11 for the Blast. The team is 9-2 with him on the roster. To Billy Ronson. Off the boards, it's blocked. Whitman. That goes wide. Paul Child after it. A veteran of many years with the Pittsburgh Spirit. He's nailed, and we've got our first foul. It's on the enforcer, David Stride, the team captain, in place of the injured Victor Moreland.
Stride trying to set a precedent there, show who's the boss defensively, using a little bit of muscle on Paul Child, so we'll see if it does deter him from coming around the goal.
Well, if you know Paul Child, and you do, you've played against him, that probably won't deter him at all.
He may come back harder.
Free kick coming up here for Baltimore. There's no score, 13:33 to go. First quarter, Billy Ronson to Furphy, shooting it wide. Sobieski hardly moved on that one. Furphy, a former teammate of his. We've got a dangerous play called right there, and it goes against Baltimore. Keith Furphy, by the way, playing in his 264th consecutive game. Not all with the same team. He's played for Cleveland, Kansas City, Tacoma, and now with the Blast. Is Sobieski, one of the league's best goalkeepers defensively or even offensively. His great foot skills, he comes out. Looking long for Mark Cartman, but it's right to Van Aaron. He'll throw long, trying to get the Blast started on the counterattack. Furphy blocked by Ed Radwanski, the #1 draft choice of the MISL 2 years ago. Tim Whitman on the left. For Child with his back to goal. It's still scoreless. Child had 3 the other night against Los Angeles in a 12-3 win. Dave McKenzie blocking it up for Ronson. Pass is picked off by the Doctor, Doc Lawson, an MISL original, former teammate of Ty Keel's when it all started with the Cincinnati Kids, and he's still playing.
And he's playing well. We saw him Friday night against St. Louis. He's going to the goal and unleashing that big right-footed shot.
Had the game winner against the Steamers in double overtime. Wes McLeod, who assisted on Lawson's goal. Double team. Ball is taken away. Billy Ronson up the right side. Ronson against Doc Lawson. And a scoreless tie, 12:29 to go. It's blocked. Sidekicks try to come back, but the Blast get it. Kicked forward the other way by Ronson. A nice header for Furphy, and Radwanski steps in the way. He's got some speed down the right wing. Getting past Ronson on the run. Radwanski in very deep. Now can't make a play. And Ronson will play it back to Van Aaron.
Quite a foot race there because Ronson is pretty quick as well, and Radwanski left him momentarily, but then he recovered.
Drago, give and go. Off the boards, it's wide and picked up by Hayden Knight. Up the left side, and now he goes the other way, and Drago gets nailed for the foul. One of the big reasons for the tremendous crowd here is today is North Texas State Soccer Association Day. It's their 3rd annual one. There are better than 100,000 kids and adults playing soccer in the Dallas area, one of the hotbeds of soccer in the United States. Ball played back now to Chris Sobieski, a 2-time MISL All-Star. Started in goal for the East this past All-Star game, played the first half. Up for Kevin Smith. From midfield, he looks for Tattoo, and it goes out of play. We talked before about Drago and how great a player he is. He has a lot of respect for his new coach. That man is Kenny Cooper. Let's talk to Drago.
Who is successful like he is, he's absolutely winner, and we get really along together.
Drago wearing a headband that says "Give to CF," which is cystic fibrosis. He has a headband with different messages from time to time, and here he comes down the right wing. Plays it in the box, shot wide, and it hit off Michael Brady as Chapman was open. Chapman has scored 3 points in each of his last 3 games. He defends against Marcio Leite on the far side, and Leite goes down. Now Mike Stankovic wins it for Bruce Savage. Back for Stankovic, who already has more goals, assists, and points than he did last year. 5-time All-Star. Stankovic can dominate when he's on his game, and he has been of late for the Blast. Ball knocked back into the Baltimore end. Bruce Savage. 4 goals offensively, but the job he does is defensively. Always marking the other team's top score, and so many people say that he's the best man-to-man marker that it's, I'm not so sure that it's not a fact as opposed to an opinion now.
Now, there are some other good markers around the league, but he's done it consistently year in and year out.
Child called for fouling Doc Lawson. Take a look at the fouls. 1 for Dallas, and there are 3 of them up there for the Baltimore Blast as Hayden Knight in a scoreless tie with 10:41 to go plays it up for Tattoo. Tattoo heavily taped on his right leg as he was the other night in St. Louis in the second quarter. Tattoo crunching with Ronson. Play on. Knight to Lawson, looking for Tattoo, but Savage is right there. Keith Murphy sending it long for Child. He and Lawson, the 2 veterans, go there, and the Doc wins this one and plays it back for Sobieski. For Hayden Knight. Hayden Knight looking. Child right on him. Good pressure there put on by Paul Child. We've got a foul called. We're going to call Knight for that foul. So it's 2 fouls on Dallas, 3 on Baltimore, and there's no score with 10:08 to go in the opening quarter from the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Your referees on the floor, Marty Templin and Kelly Mock. Manuel Ortiz Jr., the man in the box. The 3rd official. Ronson on the play on the set piece for Child. It was blocked by Lawson, and it will land on the Dallas bench. A restart, and the kick-in will be Baltimore's when we come back. Right now, we can tell you, there's 10:03 to go in the first quarter. It's been scoreless. Dallas nothing, Baltimore nothing.
What's your stupid dog up to now, Charlie Brown? You mean you never heard of Sherlock Hound, alias the MetLife representative? When a customer has a question, the MetLife representative knows where to find the right answers. And he'll get back to them fast? Elementary, my dear Lucy. Get Met. It pays.
I think this year the key for me is I've been working real hard. I push myself, and and the less I can give, and that's the reason I'm my legs feel a little tired right now. My hamstring is hurt, but I think I push myself, and I want to win, and I've been working real hard, more than last year. I think I've been back up, work defensive. I've been work real hard offensively, and let's put that way, the luck is in my side this year. I've been hit shots, shouldn't go in, and the end is in the net. I think this year I'm kind of lucky guy too.
For some people, those stats would make for a good year, and he still has several games to go as we're back in the live action. Tattoo, a very tough player to mark.
He's very strong for a small man. He's not tall. He's probably barely 5'6", but he's able to muscle people, maneuver well with the ball, and he sees the other players also and is able to lay the ball off to them as they run into attacking spaces.
This is the 6th year in the MISL for Chris Sobieski. 2 years in Pittsburgh, 2 in Cleveland, 2 in Dallas, and he's done well wherever he has gone. Actually started to play indoors at the age of 31. A little bit of a late start, but he's really adapted to this indoor game. Doc Lawson at midfield for Wes McLeod. Formerly with Canada's national team. To Lawson, up for Mark Carpet, trying to turn and give it off to McLeod. It's blocked, and Van Aaron will just cover that up. Keith Van Aaron, long toss. Andy Chapman on the right. Off the boards, Drago will score. He walked in and got it right off the boards from Andy Chapman, and Baltimore takes a 1-0 lead.
We spoke to Kenny Cooper before the game, and he was talking about how well these two players are combining, Chapman and Drago. And on that one, you see the calculated way in which Chapman uses the boards to put it in that space in front of the goal. Drago, ever alert, steps in front of Doc Lawson at the last second to poke it under Sobieski. So you see execution like Kenny Cooper's talking about. This is the thing you have to work on with your team. This is perfectly executed into the space in front of the goal, and Drago is there where he has to be.
Lawson is pretty close to him, but Drago doesn't panic, and he just knocks it home. His 22nd goal of the season. And with a Baltimore blast coming into the game in just 11 games, 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points he can add to those totals today. Uremovich now for Dallas as the Sidekicks trail early. 9:22 to go in the first quarter. Dallas down 1-0. Along Sobieski toss, finds Leite against Stankovic. Leite going down. Ball is still alive, no foul, and now a foul is going to be called, and it goes against Leite. So the foul goes to Dallas as Van Aaron tosses it left to Stankovic. That evens up the fouls at 3 apiece. Bruce Savage on the right. He and Leite bump. Savage has to chase the ball back. Dallas now in some high pressure. It's back to Keith Van Aaron. He shares goalkeeping assignments with Scott Manning. Both are playing well, especially lately. On the right side, Uremovich. Back it goes to Sobieski, and now on the left wing side to Hayden Knight. And then back to Sobieski. 8:42 to go. First quarter. Baltimore leading at 1-0. We correct something we had said earlier. If Baltimore would win this game, they'll actually be tied, not a half game behind Cleveland. We didn't update it, at least Ty and I didn't, from last night because Cleveland lost to San Diego. So that sets the stage for this. Here's Sobieski. Going up for Hayden Knight, who chests it down. Michael Brady trying to go back with it. It hits off Tattoo, and now Stankovic with it. On the left, look at the room Drago has. And the speed into the attack end. Nice pass, give and go. Broken up. Uremovich may have saved the goal. Bronson towing it off the boards. Dallas looking for it. Knight pushes it up, but a close call there.
You saw how dangerous that combination is. Again, they found each other moving into the spaces, and they used each other well.
You think the first goal has not been important to either of these two clubs? That's what their record is when either of those teams scored. Both have the winning record. Kevin Smith heading it, but now Stankovic plays it back to Keith Van Aaron, another former Cincinnati kid with Ty Keogh, an MISL original. Now it is Wes McLeod. Neutral zone up the right side for Tattoo. Picked up in the corner by Savage. Tattoo trying to spin away. Broken up. Child in there to support. And then Child gives it back to Van Aaron. That support will help you because, as Bruce Savage told us earlier in the day, it's tough to mark up Tattoo one-on-one. You really have to hope for that support. That time it was a great example of how it works. Tattoo now on the boards. And we've got a foul, and Tattoo can't believe this one. It's going on him. That's 4 now on Dallas. There's a look at the fouls. At one time, Baltimore had the edge in the fouls, and right now, both teams are in what you'd call foul problems, but more so Dallas. 6 fouls, remember, and 1 man sits out for 2 minutes. There's Wes McLeod for Tattoo. A bit too far in front of him. He'll still get the ball, and we've got a whistle. We've got a foul called in Baltimore. That evens it up at 4 apiece, and Dallas will put it in play. A look at Kenny Cooper, one of the all-time great coaches indoors. Counting the playoffs, 239 wins, 152 losses. David Stride in the neutral zone. We'll hear from Kenny Cooper later on in the game about what it takes to be successful in the MISL.
Kenny Cooper at this point has changed his team's formation. They're dropping back, trying to clock things up for Dallas. Dallas trying to get the equalizer.
Tattoo. On him is Savage. Gets the shot away. How? I'm not really sure because Savage appeared to have him, but it was wide. Stride will pick it up. Kenny Cooper playing the way Gordon Jago told us that Baltimore had played the last time when they shut out Dallas. Here's a McLeod shot. Deflected wide, and Keith Furphy goes after it. David Stride right with him. Furphy just lobbing it ahead off the blast bench, and Jennifer Ronson. McLeod will knock it out of play. We'll have an official's timeout on the floor. Baltimore leading it on a goal by Drago. His 22nd of the year. The assist going to Andy Chapman. That came at 5:30. The Blast lead by 1.
Yes. The big news is that I've made some very important big deals.
Sir, excuse me, but there's one big deal you haven't made.
Yeah, right, kid. You see,
I'm talking about a deal on Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated?
Yeah. A savings of more than 50% off the cover price. 27 action-packed weeks for 3 installments of just $9.79 each. Kid, you're a hit. Hit! What about free videotape? The NFL Crunch Course. It's 43 minutes of the NFL's greatest hits. Makes a smashing gift, and it's free with your paid subscription. Free. Plus, you get their 87 baseball preview with schedule and their famous swimsuit issue. Major League! Just call it a toll-free number. You can even use your credit card.
That's right. Get the savings, the schedule, the special issues, and the free Crunch Course tape. That's the big news. Any questions, gentlemen? Where are the phones? That'll be all right.
Sports Illustrated. Get the feeling.
Call now, 1-800-525-5700.
Baltimore leads 1-0, but Ty Keogh, as we'll see here, it could have been 2-0.
No doubt about it. Here you see Drago breaking in. He sees Chapman on the far side. Chapman immediately lays it back to him into the space that's just a bit behind him, but you see how they look for each other.
Juremovic that time making the nice defensive play, so Baltimore still leads 1-0. They acquired Drago from Chicago on January 11th. That's a significant date because it's my birthday. But when they made that move, Baltimore went 9-2, and I'll tell you what, Chicago has done well also. Since the trade, there's the figures, better than 6 goals a game offensively, 3.87 before that. But boy, Chicago with Eric Geyer has really caught on fire. Our next game here on ESPN should be another good one. Cleveland visits San Diego. That is on March the 2nd. It will be played on a tape delay basis from Sunday, March the 1st. 12 a.m. will be your starting time for that game on March 2. On the restart, Keith Murphy will be putting it in play. On the right side to veteran Dave McKenzie. Up for Child. Baltimore had a good week this week. They won 2 games. One in which they trailed by a couple of goals to San Diego. McKenzie and Stankovic brought him back up the left side for Carpin. Mark Carpin, the second all-time leading scorer for Dallas. Back after missing most of last year with knee surgery. Right side, Juremovic. 5:53 to go. First quarter, Baltimore up by 1. Leite does a good job holding, giving for Smith. It's blocked. Leite will get it back. Leite spent the last several years with the Pittsburgh Spirit. Dribbling, has Knight open, finds him. Paul Child picks him up. Hey, Knight, right-footed shot, blocked up high and wide. Kevin Smith into the corner for Leite. Marshall trying to dribble it out, broken up. Keith Murphy is there, and Murphy upended on the foul from Leite. Keith's not too pleased with that one. That's the 5th foul. Should be on Dallas. They put it up on the board the other way. It's now reversed. 5 on Dallas, 4 the other way as Tim Whitman and Keith Murphy communicate.
Murphy not too happy about this.
Well, Leite just gave him a bump for some reason.
That's right. I think Murphy had something to say to Leite after Leite took him down. It was an uncharacteristic play by Leite. Normally he's not that physical. He took Murphy down hard. Murphy had something to say to him, so Leite went back after him. He's getting the 2 minutes now.
Well, his last mistake happened right in front of Marty Templin, so that's going to cost him 2 minutes. While they settle things out, we'll settle it as well. Baltimore still on top, and when we come back, we will see in action the number 4 ranked power play. It's 1-0 Baltimore.
Enjoying that crispy cereal, Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, side of corn, side of rice, sure makes it crispy. Look, the corn's crispier. Why, once I ate a bowl in Dugan's Apple Grove. The crunch from the corn side shook the tree so that now, come picking time, the Dugans don't need ladders just to crunch the corn side of Crispix.
Grandpa, last time the right side was crispier.
Right side? Well, you're thinking the kid over at Milford that...
Kellogg's Crispix, crispy, times 2.
Baltimore on the power play with their 20 for 48. 42% is their efficiency rating. Dallas has allowed 20 goals in 63 attempts. 68.2 is their percentage. They rank number 5. Radwanski out there along with Kevin Smith, Wes McLeod, and Mike Juremovic to try and kill it. Watch out for Stankovic. He has 6 power play goals. Here's Radwanski to Kevin Smith. Now back for Juremovic. Andy Chapman chasing him. What a veteran-like cast Kenny Cooper has out there. Drago to Stankovic, McKenzie, Murphy, and Chapman round out all kinds of years of service in the MISL. McKenzie with it. Only Stankovic played for Baltimore last year. To the right side is Big Mike, picked up by Wes McLeod. To McKenzie in the middle. Left side for Furphy, a 1-0 Baltimore lead. Stankovic holding it. Back to McKenzie. Baltimore very patient to Furphy. Chapman tried to play it across for Drago, and Yuremevich knocked it away. Furphy knocks it off the boards, enabling Baltimore to maintain control. Stankovic, left side, Furphy, left-footed pass or shot, whatever that was, goes wide. Too hard to tell. He miskicked it looked like, as McKenzie gets set from 60. To the left side, Furphy again. McKenzie, right side, Stankovic. Now Baltimore starting to penetrate. Stankovic in the box, Chapman off the post. Great chance, nice penetration.
Didn't miss by much, and Stankovic found Chapman in there in a little bit of space, which normally you can't find. They did a good job of finding that space.
McKenzie to Furphy, played across to Stankovic. The attention drawn to Mike. He brings it more to the middle. Now plays it right side to McKenzie. Drago looking to get free in the corner. Now McKenzie pulls out. Goes back in for Chapman again. Second straight time they try to find him. This time Dallas knocks it away, but Baltimore gets it back. 30 seconds left in the power play. Furphy to Chapman. Right back, but Kevin Smith is there. Smith looking long for Radwanski. His first ever goal last year was shorthanded. Van Aaron cuts him off. On the left side, it's picked up by Furphy. Time running out of the power play. 13 seconds left for the blast. 1-0, they lead it. McKenzie to the middle for Stankovic. Picked up by Radwanski to Furphy. He's got a good left foot. He'll try to pass that ball. Knocked away by McLeod. McKenzie. Leite ready to come out, and he's back on. Dallas has killed a penalty, but Stankovic still in a dangerous spot, though he shoots it upstairs. So many times players come out of the box, but in effect that was not a power play situation, Ty, but it could very well have been because Leite was not yet back in the play.
Well, Baltimore still had the composure and the momentum of the power play situation. Here you see McKenzie finding Stankovic, who's still unmarked because Leite's not all the way out of the box yet. He maneuvers to get the shot on his left foot, but in hurrying it, he gets under it and puts it up into the stands.
And everybody gets a bit of a breather. Kevin Smith, Mike Yuremevich, a job well done. On the Sidekicks bench, that's the backup keeper, Mark White, who's played outdoors in Sweden the last couple of years. And in fact, when he was 18 years old, was the third goalkeeper for Baltimore a few years ago. One shot on goal. That does not count the one that hit off the post. So Baltimore didn't have a chance there against Dallas. Here's Mike Powers on the left for Tattoo. Savage on him. Mickey Kites from Long Island University on for his first shift. Tattoo just whistled it wide. Kites trying to get in a position at that far post to knock it in. Whitman now to Van Aaron. 2:50 to go, first quarter. Baltimore leading it 1-0 the last time in this building. They shut out Dallas 2-0. A much higher scoring game took place in Baltimore, February 7th, 7-6 loss for Dallas. Stride plays it back for Sobieski. Up the left side, Mickey Kites. Right back for Lawson. Lawson and Stride, the defenders. Along with Mike Powers, who's moved up to midfield on the right side. Tattoo. Double team. Tries to get it by Savage. He's still going with it. Tattoo off of a deflection, but Child knocks it away. Whitman can't find it. Lawson can. The Doctor shooting it, and Child blocks that one. And the impression on the ball will probably show up in his body when he showers after the game. Sobieski now to David Stride. Boy, Lawson had the big wind-up that time, and if you block a shot that goes that hard, you're going to pay the price a bit. Sobieski now finding Stride off his chest. Savage off the boards for Ronson, who clears it. 5 fouls on Dallas, 4 on Baltimore, and Baltimore has a 1-0 lead up for Child. 1:47 left. First quarter, look at the pressure that Dallas puts on. They force the giveaway. Kites wanted Tattoo off the boards. Savage with a nice recovery. Lawson after it, but Billy Ronson beats him there. Off the boards, he just dumps it. 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Baltimore leading at 1-0 on Drago's 22nd goal of the year from Chapman at 5:30. Up for Tattoo with his back to goal. Tattoo now facing the target. Against Savage to the right. The shot just off the post. Not much room, but he got it through. Now Van Aaron stopping the Hayden Knight shot that went around the boards.
There it is. Bruce Savage does everything a defender has to do to try and stop Tattoo. He still managed to get a shot in that had Van Aaron beat as well, and it just
Three-line violation called on Baltimore. 1:05 to go in the first quarter. Dallas trying to get the equalizer before the quarter ends. Leite against Drago, former teammates in Pittsburgh in Drago's rookie season. Right side, Yuremevich to McLeod. Broken up, Michael Brady. from American University. Has some speed. Trying to split the defense. He's taken down. Play goes on as Wes McLeod will pick it up. Brady really accelerating there. Up the far side, Leite to Wes McLeod. Drago blocks it. There could be a 2-on-1. Drago with Chapman. Cuts it back. It's broken up. Uremovich, nice job.
Uremovich read that perfectly because if he doesn't get a piece of that ball, he's finished on the 2-against-1. The wall pass would beat him.
He knew he had players coming back. He had to try and detain Drago as Tattoo goes the other way against McKenzie. They want to try to take advantage. Savage is not out there. Radwanski turns and fires wide. Good vision by Tattoo. Kevin Smith with 12 seconds left for Tattoo. Looking to turn against McKenzie. Shooting it. Save made by Van Aaron on the short side. And again, Tattoo just about smothered, but he still got the shot away. Time running out. That's it for the first quarter. And at the end of 1 quarter of play, on a Drago goal is 22nd of the year from Chapman at 5:30. The Blast has the early lead.
I love the look of his heavy beard, but when I want to get close...
Announcing Noxzema for heavy beards. Its special energized foam turns that sandpaper into...
silk.
From Noxzema, the first shave cream for heavy beards.
The Great American Face. Strong, sensitive. The Great American Razor. Atra Plus. Solid. With the Lubra Smooth Strip for extra protection. The Great American Face deserves the Great American Shave. Atra Plus. Only from Gillette.
Tuesday, Harold Brazier and undefeated John Meekins fight for the NABF Junior Welterweight title. Live at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Can you increase your success potential? Get Self-Analysis by L. Ron Hubbard wherever paperbacks are sold. Because if you're not moving up, you're falling behind.
This America's Cup update is brought to you by Hilton, America's business address.
We'll be there in 1990, and I hope that I can do as the sign said that I saw out there, out on the pier this afternoon with all the other people that were out there, the many screaming people, which was tremendous experience. Do as the sign said, and that was that what goes up must come down.
The excitement is building on a land out there, a land down under, where the thrill of the America's Cup is matched only by a visit to the new Conrad International Hotel and Jupiter's Casino on Australia's legendary Gold Coast. Conrad International Hotel and Jupiter's Casino, a new standard in luxury resort hotels. Conrad International Hotels, a subsidiary of Hilton, USA.
One of the biggest tournaments of the year begins Monday on ESPN. The Lipton International Players Championships. 2 weeks of great action featuring Lendl, Becker, Navratilova, Everett Lloyd, and more. Starting Monday at 1 Eastern, live on ESPN.
Here's the outside of Dallas, Texas, a beautiful city, and it's a beautiful building. In fact, the Reunion Arena, one of the nicer buildings in the MISL. That's where this game is taking place. We're still waiting for the crowd count. The previous record high, 11,836 last year, and in a playoff game, they did better than 13,000, and they're seeing Baltimore with the early lead.
Baltimore jumped on top. Chapman found Drago out near the near post as he banked the ball off the boards. You see how well they can execute, and they've been working very well together in this 8-game winning streak that Baltimore has put together.
And on the opposite side, Dallas almost gets the equalizer.
You see Tattoo holding off defenders as he keeps control of the ball. He's built low to the ground. He doesn't look like he's been slowed up by the injury to me. He's still able to find just that little bit of space to get a shot in here. He cracks it low and hard as he barely beats Savage and puts it just wide of the far post.
Tattoo, the #1 scorer in the Major Indoor Soccer League, entering today's action. A look at the stats show Baltimore and Dallas with 4 shots apiece. 1 save for Baltimore. And that was it. Baltimore with the ball as the second quarter begins. Paul Child going long, but Sobieski is right there. Rolling it to David Stride. We're 15 seconds into the second quarter, and the Blast lead 1-0. They're trying for a share of first place, and they can get that if they can win today, but Dallas has some incentive as well. They're right behind Baltimore in the standings. Sobieski moving in. Dallas looking for their 20th win, and this their 31st game. Last year took them 39 to record 20 wins, and they had a fine year finishing at 25 and 23. Wes McLeod. Dallas down by 1 on the left foot. It changed direction a little bit, but Van Aaron had no problem with it. Keith Van Aaron now being picked up by Ed Radwanski. Up the side it goes. Lawson with a block. Not enough of the ball, and it's knocked back the other way by Ronson, but no harm done there to Dallas. 14 minutes to go. Second quarter. Dallas down 1-0 up for Radwanski. Leaving it for Kevin Smith. Dallas using some motion. Some good runs off the ball. Kevin Smith, Radwanski right back. Maybe one pass too many, and it's knocked back the other way.
Good combination play, but at the last point it broke down.
To the right side boards. Knocked away, but Lawson will pick it up against Ronson. Neutral zone for Hayden Knight. Back to the doctor. Picked up again by Billy Ronson. Lawson looking for some room. Now brings it to the middle. Left-footed shot goes wide. Smith can't find it. Radwanski can. Sends it down low and wide. Lawson lost his balance there as Ronson runs the other way. Radwanski, there's that foot race again, but this time Baltimore has the ball. It was reversed on the opposite side of the field in the first quarter. Ronson maintaining control for Dave McKenzie, who is used when Baltimore uses that sixth attacker for Tim Whitman, a Baltimore native and one of the faster players on the floor. Knocked all the way back. Look at how deep Drago is at this stage. Last time we saw him in one of our televised games, he was playing as a first forward and getting a lot of long passes, but they've changed his style to adapt more to Baltimore and make them more effective.
And also adapting to Chapman's play, who is very good at posting up in the deep area, and then Drago runs off of him.
Stankovic over the line. Against him, Radwanski. Left there for Drago. Tried to lift it. It hit Kevin Smith right in the face. He's slow to get up now. Andy Chapman, a right-footed shot. Parried wide. Sobieski with a nice save. Kept alive. Stankovic to McKenzie. Running it toward goal. Fakes to drop it off. Now finds Andy Chapman for Drago, and he just missed the connection. Drago off the boards. That's blocked once, then twice. Hayden Knight in some serious traffic. Drago knocking it away. Looking out. Stankovic, big shot blocked the other way by Mark Carpenter. McKenzie keeps it alive. Baltimore putting some pressure on, but now Radwanski takes it away. Trying to put it in space, but Carpenter wasn't going toward the middle. In fact, he's going off for a line change. Michael Brady, the impressive blast rookie. Left-footed drive, and Sobieski. An acrobatic save to knock it out of play.
Spectacular reaction there. That ball's headed for the upper corner. At the last second, he gets the fingertips up there.
11:51 to go, second quarter. Baltimore getting closer, but Sobieski closes the door. He says no. Don't miss out on the fun and excitement. Bud Sports and ESPN bring you the major indoor soccer league game of the week. It's the MISL on ESPN. Check local listings for times. It's a 1-0 Baltimore lead. They'll have the kick from the far side, and Stankovic will be putting it into play. Mike looking, trying to increase that lead. Knocks it out to Chapman. His shot is blocked. Savage will pick it up, but we have a foul. That'll give us a chance to tell you that the Bud Sports team, Ty Q and myself, will be selecting at the end of the game for each team a MetLife player of the game.
I was noticing on that last setup for the corner kick, Ken Cooper known for his design of set plays. It looked rather odd there. Did you see the four players all stacked up like they're ready for takeoff at O'Hare?
It was congested. Sobieski the other way. Kenny Cooper works hard on those set plays and on his specialty teams, and it shows. It shows in the standings. Leite, red line of Baltimore. Pulling it back in the neutral zone. One of the better dribblers on the floor. For David Stride, knocked back to Uremovic. Back for Stride. High pressure now, Baltimore. Chapman almost stole it away. Sobieski with Chapman full blast. Knocked away by Michael Brady. Into the corner. Chapman trying to get in position, but it goes out of play. Andy Chapman, talk about being on winning teams. 7 straight years his teams, Wichita and Cleveland, the last couple of years, have gone into the semifinals. So he likes those playoff games. He always is around them. Plus minus of Keith Furphy of plus 17. This is a new team basically for Baltimore. Added several veterans, Furphy, Chapman, McKenzie, and Child. In the last 8 games, those people have accounted for 5 game-winning goals, and overall, they are responsible for 37% of Baltimore's offense, and they are a plus 51 combined. David Stride now putting it in play to Chris Sobieski. 11:06 to go, first half. Starting to get noisy in Dallas. They trail 1-0. Stride from Sobieski, and Sobieski playing right beside him at the opposite red line. Opposite end of the red line. Sobieski with it in midfield. And I've seen him come farther than that. On the right side, Tattoo. Spinning on Savage. Left-footed drive, a rocket, but it got up too high. And again, he shows the quickness.
Did you see how quickly he whipped around with that shot? On full stride speed. Here you see him spin Savage off the boards. Gets the inside track, and not much space here, but whips that ball around with his left foot. Just got a little bit under it.
And we are telling you for a fact, he may not look it, but he is playing with 2 bad hamstrings. He came in with a bad left hamstring Friday night against St. Louis, and then ended up with tape on the right side, but he's been cleared by the doctor to play, and they're not fearful of any great risk here. They say he's just got a slight problem there now today after treatment. Right side, Hayden Knight. Left-footed shot is blocked by Child. Picked up by Lawson. 10:26 to go. First half, Dallas down by 1. Lawson holding it now at midfield. Eyeing the situation. Kevin Smith wants the ball, gets the ball. Right at the red line of Baltimore. Left for Leite. Leite to Tattoo. Tattoo knocking it to the corner. He'll give it the chase with Whitman. Leite in there to try and force the ball, but now Ronson will get it. Billy Ronson going long. Up the left side, he wanted Whitman. Couldn't find him too long, in fact, and now Doc Lawson will come back the other way over midfield. Doc Lawson against Tim Whitman. Sees some room to the outside. Now Whitman trying to close him. Lawson towards the middle. Still with some room, and now Whitman and Perfy trying to limit his options to Leite. Hits it on the volley, a header. Score! Tattoo! It's tied at 1. And there goes the jersey, part of the trademark, part of his tradition. When he scores the goal, the jersey comes off. That's goal number 40. And we'll get another look to see how the man does it.
The people love it here. They like to see that. They know that means the Sidekicks are back in the game.
Makes those hamstrings feel better, doesn't it?
It usually does. But a brilliant goal here. Doc Lawson finding Marcio Leite. Lawson maneuvering for a shot, but instead tries to flick it over to Marcio Leite, and Leite takes the ball out of the air. You'll see it here as Lawson is looking to lay it into Tattoo. Instead, it's over to Leite. At the last second, Tattoo, a diving header. Von Aaron cannot react. It's right in front of him. Tattoo redirection with his head. Here's a better view of it because you can see Lawson finding Leite at the far post. A side volley. He gets over it, but Tattoo reacts instantly and gets the inside track on Savage to flick it on with his head.
Most of his goals come off the feet, but that time the diving header, which shows a lot of this man's athletic ability. The jersey goes off. It's tied at 1.
Behold the beer belly. 50 million Americans need a shortcut to get from fat to flat. Introducing the Gut Buster. It's the ultimate fitness machine specifically designed to firm and flatten the stomach as nothing else can. And ladies, if you're as serious as he is, that flat stomach you had in high school can be yours again. Basic spring-ups like these work the upper abdominal region. Reverse for tension-assisted high risers. This sturdy unit travels easily, so you can exercise anywhere. And it's yours with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So go ahead, Gutbusters. If you're serious about a flat stomach, exercise your right to call toll-free now.
To order your Gutbuster, call 1-800-228-8500. That's 1-800-228-8500. Use your credit card to avoid COD charges, or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to The Gutbuster, Department 5, Canton, Ohio 44750. That toll-free number again is 1-800-228-8500.
Tattoo's 40th goal from Leite ties it. The man marking him was Bruce Savage earlier. He talked about how tough it was to do just that.
I think guarding Tattoo this year is a really hard assignment because he's taken a lot of responsibility and he realizes, he has to do well for his team to win. So what I'm going to do is, try to play him tight as I can, but we're going to drop 5 guys back behind the ball and give him no space.
That side volley from Leite really helped out. I think it allowed Tattoo to get a little bit behind Savage, and he's proven today, as he has in the last 3 years, he doesn't need that much room. He can make it happen. 40th goal of the year from Leite at 5:22, and that brought the crowd to life. Long ball in for Chapman. Sobieski reacts to it. It's tied at 1 at the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. 9:17 left in the first half. Wes McLeod going long. Headed up by Mike Brady. Now Stankovic trying to move it out. Mickey Kaites with a block, but Chapman is there for Stankovic. Now to Drago. Taken away. McLeod off the boards. No trailer. And Drago will just flip it back to Van Aaron.
Drago was relieved there to not see that cost him more because he gave it away in his own third of the field, and that's a big no-no.
Stankovic at midfield. A 1-1 tie if you're just joining us. Ball played back for Drago. He's played with several teams in the MISL. He's made things happen. He is leveled by McLeod. We've got a foul. And that is only the first foul of the quarter for Dallas. Baltimore also has one. I tell you, Drago, like Tattoo in the great scores, gets kicked a lot, but he comes back up and beats you. Stride and Chapman collide, and this one will be similar to an NBA call, like an offensive foul. Chapman takes that rap, and it's the second Baltimore foul.
And he got the worst of it physically also, but he was the one backing in.
That makes it worse, doesn't it, when you do the foul and it hurts you? Sobieski with it. Dallas playing without Victor Moreland, and Baltimore playing without the great Richard Chinapoo, one of the better defenders in the MISL and an all-star the last couple of years. Wes McLeod back for Lawson, right at midfield. Drago right on him. 8:09 to go. Second quarter. Tied at 1. Hayden Knight picked up by Chapman. Knight right-footed shot blocked, and Parkman just lost it off his right foot. It goes out of play, and the ball belongs to Baltimore. Here's a look at the crowd. First 10,000 fans that came here got these shakers to wave, so it should be colorful here today in Dallas. Tattoo getting that last goal, his 40th of the year from Leite at 5:22 as we take a look at some action. We'll watch Dallas setting up. Off Kaites, look at Van Aaron. He was going to the left side, anticipating play going that way. There's 7:59 left in the second quarter. Baltimore and Dallas are even thanks to Tattoo's 40th goal of the year.
Here is Ken Halm, one of the world's leading authorities on Chinese cooking.
You can be my guest in Hong Kong when you enter the Bay's English Muffin Recipe Contest. Win a trip for 2 to Hong Kong on Singapore Airlines, plus a week of cooking with me and eating in some of Hong Kong's finest restaurants. Enter a favorite recipe using Bay's English Muffins, and 2 of you will share the experience of a lifetime. Welcome to Hong Kong, the gateway to China.
Look for specially marked packages in your grocer's dairy case. Bay's.
Here's a look at some of the fans in attendance here at Dallas. They've averaged just under 8,000 a game, but they're up about 30% from last year and about 80-something%. If I had my calculator, I could figure it out from the first year when no one cared about indoor soccer here in Dallas. They really care nowadays, and their crowds have really gone up here in Dallas. They should continue to grow with the way this franchise has been built. Gordon Jago and Charlie Cook last year. Charlie Cook going to Wichita. Now Keith Weller is the assistant coach, and all Gordon Jago did was get named as MISL Coach of the Year, justifiably so. He turned around a team that won 12 games the previous year, and he better than doubled it in 1 year. Back in the live action. Chapman going long for Mike Brady. Around the boards, but Sobieski is right there with 7:49 left in the second quarter. We're even at 1 apiece, Dallas and Baltimore. Sobieski finding Kevin Smith, back for Lawson. Lawson watched by Chapman. Lifts it over him for Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith over the line. Left side, Radwanski. Picked up by Stankovic. Out at the left. Hayden Knight in a 1-1 tie against Drago. It's blocked, and Doc Lawson will pick it up. Neutral zone, lifting it for Tattoo, wanting to turn. Savage got a piece now. Radwanski in some traffic, lays it off for Kevin Smith. Across the way, Hayden Knight now to Lawson. Right side, Kevin Smith bringing it into the middle, trying to create some space to the left side. Hayden Knight. Drago almost strips him of the ball. And now Lawson is there. A good work rate from Drago.
Baltimore here is trying to absorb some of the pressure that they know is going to come from Dallas. Dallas playing at home has to go to the goal.
Radwanski settling it down. Now leaves it off. Kevin Smith not quite expecting that one. Smith now to Tattoo. Everybody trying to come back and help. Tattoo settling it. Takes it to the right side, off the boards. Blocked by Stankovic. Good thing, because Kevin Smith was far post. Tattoo and Lawson are there. Lawson around the boards and hopped loose. One of those tricky indoor bounces. Van Aaron caught off guard, but nobody could knock that one home. And here's Drago, coast to coast. Leaves it off for Stankovic. Mike Stankovic, one-on-one. With Radwanski, takes it to the outside. The shot knocked away by Lawson. It looked like it was going wide. But a nice cut by Stankovic.
Well, Lawson doesn't know whether Chapman's behind him or not, so he has to stop that ball from going through.
Good point. On the right side, here's Tattoo. Off of Hayden Knight. McLeod breaks for goal as Van Aaron knocks it away, and it's kicked straight up by Savage. Radwanski tried to head it back, and look at the run. Ronson, it's now developed into a 3-on-1. Right side, Chapman. Drago is free. Chapman off the boards, too deep. Ronson can't control it. Dallas may come the other way. Radwanski doesn't have the numbers, though, so he wisely settles it down a bit. Now finds Juremovic. And Radwanski goes to the bench for a line change as the ball is deflected off Chapman, and it goes into the crowd. Drago, a close look at him there. A little bit winded, and why not? He's had the work rate on both sides of the floor.
Well, he's disappointed. It was set up as a 3-on-1, and it broke down, and he's in that ideal position to convert it if it does come to the far post, but nothing came of it.
A look at a great goal scorer. That's his head that's disappearing as he's got a seat on the Baltimore bench. Reminder that coming up at halftime, the MISL standings and the league leaders. The year of change. MISL coaching moves. 5 of 12 teams made changes, and the Volkswagen van jam. Tattoo across. It's broken up. Van Aaron and Ronson combined to clear it down the floor. Sobieski to his own red line. Getting it by Furphy, a former teammate with Cleveland. Right side, Juremovic. Nobody gave up on that ball for either side. That's a 50-50 ball that Dallas won, but they won the battle. Baltimore wins the war as they take it back. Child to Furphy. Tim Whitman against Stride. Deflected out. Furphy wanting it, settling it on the right foot. Off the boards. Good idea to Michael Brady. Spinning on Leite. Brady will take it to the near side. 5:05 left. Second quarter, even at 1. He plays it right to Savage. That's as far up as Savage has been all day. He's got 4 goals this year. His job is to watch Tattoo as Leite now finds Tattoo deep.
A little role reversal there as Savage spun Tattoo off the board. So he's going to show him that he can do a few things going forward also.
Savage says to Tattoo, how do you like it? Sobieski now on the left side for David Stride. A 1-1 tie in Dallas. Stride going long. Van Aaron just heads it out. And David Stride will collect it in the neutral zone. Stride a regular on last year's Sidekicks team. Played up the middle, and Whitman is there for Brady. That's too long. Stride answers back to Kevin Smith over midfield. Smith, an original sidekick. Stops it, plays it. Carpet off the boards. Wanted Smith, but Furphy did a nice job to follow his man. Out to Hayden Knight in the neutral zone. 4:13 to go. First half. Carpet wanting to turn. Savage hits it off the boards. Wow. Van Aaron may have gotten a little piece. If he did, it wasn't by much. Kevin Smith with it. To Mike Powers. Back for Kevin Smith. A 1-1 tie. Look at Carpet and Savage. Out for Knight. Too high on the shot. And it goes up into the crowd. But Mark Carpet showing some nice individual moves as he tried to beat Savage.
He did well there, jockeying for position, getting the ball laid into him and holding Savage off. Hayden Knight running onto that ball, trying to get a lot on it. Just gets too much on it as he launches it high.
Knight's shot goes up into the crowd. Carpin this year with 13 goals. He only had 5 last year because he missed the year. And oddly enough, he had a hat trick in the game, his first game of the season, and then he was taken down. He had the knee injury, missed the entire year. Tell you what's important about his stats, 13 goals as we look at Gordon Jago on the Sidekicks bench. The thing that's most impressive about Carpin's 13 goals, Ty, 10 have come on the road.
That says a lot about a forward, because many times you go into the other team's arena and you know that their defender's going to be fired up. They're going to be kicking you, not giving you much space. They got a little added impetus with that home crowd, so it's tough to come up with those kind of stats on the road.
And a look at the architect behind Baltimore's success, Kenny Cooper, not only the head coach, but also now an executive vice president. Chapman drawing a foul, a quick restart. Should be the second foul on Dallas on the right side. Stankovic to Drago. 1-on-1 against Lawson. In the box, Chapman is pushed down by Stride. Play continues, though. Stankovic tied up by Radwanski. Sends it back the other way. Bruce Savage on the chase. Savage now to Van Aaron, who takes a page out of Sobieski's book, coming out a bit. Up for Chapman. He and Stride both try to draw the foul. Stride ends up losing. in the acting performance on both sides.
Free kick for the Blacks.
Let's look at Andy Chapman, who scored in back-to-back years 53 goals with Wichita, and he followed that one up with 48 goals in his career. Better than a point per game, which also tells you something about a player. The consistency to put those points on the board. The ball is dumped into the corner. Brady may have been kicked by Stride. Sobieski clears, but not quite out. Stankovic deking on Wes McLeod. Stankovic cutting. Left-footed drive. Blocked by McLeod. Radwanski didn't head that ball the way he wanted to, but Dallas gets possession. Tattoo avoids a clip from Chapman. Long lead pass McLeod. Radwanski starts to run. The shot taken is stopped by Van Aren. And Van Aren wants to settle it down with 2:45 to go in the first half. It's tied at 1 apiece.
Tattoo showing his passing ability there. He saw McLeod moving out into the open field there and laid a ball through for him for that shot.
Van Aren, in a bit of an awkward moment, will clear it up the floor. Ronson will have Furphy open. Stride cuts it off. Great tackle. Kevin Smith clearing it to midfield. Savage. Now to Mike Stankovic. He'll settle things down with 2:20 to go. First half tied at 1. Savage advancing to Furphy. Picked up by David Stride. Furphy knocking it back for Stankovic. Midfield area. Up for Paul Child. Pass intended for Stankovic. He'll get it with Tattoo on him. Stankovic and Tattoo, fellow All-Stars, representing the Eastern Division. Tattoo, by the way, had the most votes of anyone for the East side. Clavillo had the most in the West and the most overall. Right side, Savage. Off the boards, Leite has his man Paul Child. Off the left wing boards for Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith and Savage in a battle. It's knocked back the other way. Lawson lifts it the other way, and it lands right by the public address announcer. So the ball will come back, and Baltimore will have possession with 1:38 to go in the first half of play, and it's even at 1 apiece. Billy Ronson, walking out of your picture, had a couple of goals in his debut. It was a good debut for him last year on ESPN, but bad for his teammates. They lost 9-3 to San Diego in San Diego. And while teams change on the fly, we can tell you, change up now. It was a great night last night of the MISL. 18,674 in Cleveland last night, although the Force lost in overtime 6-5 to San Diego. 12,413 in Chicago, largest crowd ever in the Rosemont Horizon. Chicago rewarded the local faithful, winning it 8-4. On the left wing side, back in the action, off the board, Sobieski will come out and make the play. Left side for Hayden Knight. Lifting it, but it was deflected, and now it's McKenzie up high. Whitman trying to clear it out. Some anxious and some awkward moments here for both sides. I got it, no, you got it, no, they got it. And now on the left side for Carpin. Mark Carpin, partially blocked. Now cuts it for Kevin Smith. Smith over the line, right side shot, and that goes over Van Aren and out of play. Another good crowd on hand here in Dallas. And they may have broken their record, which we gave you before, at 11,836, their previous high for the regular season. It's encouraging, though, especially with New York dropping out of the league this week, to see those crowds in Cleveland, 18+, Chicago, 12,000+, and then what we're seeing here today. And Kansas City last night, a game you and I did, 15,000 as the Comets started a 5-game homestand and beat St. Louis 6-5. St. Louis 4 straight losses under head coach Tony Glavine, but all games that they could have won. 1-goal losses each time. A throw now by Van Aren. Left side for Drago. Now Chapman is taken down, and the ball belongs to Dallas. Radwanski leading for Carpin. In the corner off the boards. Settle down off the chest of Uremovic. He maintains possession. Double team. Knocks it out, Radwanski. Try to turn. Brady crunched him. Foul is going to be called on Baltimore. That's their 4th.
The Blacks. Sidekicks with a free kick.
Neither team in foul trouble with 36 seconds left. Radwanski wanting to turn the other way, but Brady took him down.
Brady just came in hard there, which you have to do at this critical part of the game.
McLeod's shot went in and then came right back out. Off the inside of the goalpost. Didn't miss by much. Brady the other way with time running down. 25 seconds left. Brady. They try to give and go. Too congested. Drago. Save. Sobieski made a beauty. Carpin now leaves it off for Hayden Knight. Both sides almost giving one up in the closing seconds of the half. 12 seconds left. Hayden Knight against Tim Whitman. Both of them go down. And they're going to call that the other way in Baltimore. Restart for Dallas with 8 seconds to go in the half. And Dallas smartly calls a timeout. You can get 1 timeout per half, and why not do it here and try to set something up? And while they talk things over and try to set it up, let's show you how both teams almost got goals, but actually Dallas gets closer.
The ball loose in front. McLeod comes on over it, cracks the ball. You see it's got Van Aaron beat. He touches it at the last second, and it hits off the post and comes out. At the other end, Brady lays the ball in, looking for it to come back to him. It's no way. It pops out. Running onto it is Drago. He cracks it low, and Sobieski has started to go the other way. Great reaction and be able to come across and get a piece of it.
When I saw it live, I don't know how you saw it, I didn't think that Van Aaron touched it. I thought it went in and out, but the replay was clear.
I thought it was hit so hard that there was no way he would have been able to get over there. And he showed you, top-class goalkeeper with those kind of reflexes, in position. The last second got his hand out. Otherwise, you saw as it came off McLeod's foot, it was going in.
Kenny Cooper, and behind him on the bench, his former player, Jim Polnahan, now an assistant coach with the Baltimore Blast. Let's take a look at some upcoming games in the Major Indoor Soccer League to be played in an area near you. Later today, Tacoma at Los Angeles after they made that big trade with St. Louis. We'll talk more about that at halftime. Wednesday, Wichita at St. Louis. Minnesota at Kansas City. Thursday, Tacoma at Chicago. Friday, Tacoma at Minnesota. Dallas at Kansas City. And Wichita at San Diego. Next Saturday, Chicago at Baltimore, Minnesota at Dallas, Cleveland at L.A., and then Sunday, Tacoma at KC, Cleveland at San Diego, and Wichita is at Los Angeles. Check with your local team. Some schedule changes because of New York filing for bankruptcy. So with them out of the league, some things have had to change. Tattoo. Sending it in, it's partially blocked. McKenzie with a piece of it. 5 seconds left in the half. Kevin Smith kept it going, but it's going wide, and Carpin will chest it as time runs out in the opening half of play. So at the end of one half of play, the Dallas Sidekicks, after trailing for a good part of the first half, now find themselves dead even. What a piece from Dallas.
This bud's for all that you do.
It could be any time now.
No, Bill had to leave. Can I help you?
A friend is counting on you.
We need copies by 4:30.
I'll cover it for him.
Not a word.
You keep on coming through, 'cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you.
Tuesday's Edmonton-Pittsburgh NHL Showdown features a Wayne Gretzky-Mario Lemieux scoring battle, live at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Don't miss out on the fun and excitement. Bud Sports and ESPN bring you the Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week. It's the MISL on ESPN. Check local listings for times.
When the temperature drops below 30, remember the spark plug that's tested to start below 0. Champion, we go to ridiculous extremes to test the reliability of our spark plugs.
And back in Dallas, today's halftime is being brought to you by the 1987 German-engineered Volkswagen and your Volkswagen dealer. Welcome back, everyone, to the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. John Paul Della Camera, along with Ty Keogh. It's a 1-1 tie, and I think the only thing I'm surprised with is how effective Tattoo has been, because we knew going in he had the 2 bad hamstrings. We have not really seen too much of that so far in the first half.
And we saw him limping, very strongly after the game in St. Louis on Friday night. So he's been very maneuverable. He's been working hard off the ball and making a lot of chances.
I'm impressed, Ty, with Baltimore's work rate, the way they come back, the way they have not really given Dallas all that much room. And in fairness to Bruce Savage, in many cases he's been helped by some support players, and you have to do that against Tattoo.
It's very evident that both of these teams are hard-working teams and well-drilled teams. So it's not surprising to see that they're both contending with Cleveland for our first spot in the Eastern Division.
The standings mean a lot more when you consider we're in the second half of the schedule, where the games seem to take on a bit more meaning. And at crunch time, we look at Cleveland, followed closely by Baltimore, just a half game out, then Dallas slightly behind them, Minnesota and Chicago. And remember, Chicago started out losing their first several games. On the West, Tacoma at 18-9, San Diego coming up 17-13, Wichita, despite the injuries, a game over 500, Kansas City with their win 13-17, St. Louis and Los Angeles still struggling. Both of those teams made some coaching changes. So that's a quick look at the standings in the MISL. Right now we'll switch off and we'll go to some of the league leaders and show you just who's hot in the Major Indoor Soccer League. And heat-wise, Tattoo is the hottest player in the league. He leads in scoring with 53 points, but there are some familiar names and some guys that you didn't expect to see up there this early in the season.
That's true. All of these guys have done the job in past seasons, but they're coming on strong. Tattoo, 40 goals. That's phenomenal at this point in the season.
And when you take a look at the goalkeepers, there's Sobieski's name at the top. And if you ask people at the start of the year to name the top 2 or 3 goalkeepers, you'd find that a lot of people wouldn't mention him. But there he is, right on top with the most wins.
He's got all the tools. He's got the quickness on the line. He reads the game well. He comes flying out and supports his defenders well.
Here at halftime, Dallas won and Baltimore won. There's a lot more coming your way at halftime from Dallas, so stay with us. We'll be back.
Yes. The big news is that I've made some very important big deals.
Sir, excuse me, but there's one big deal you haven't made.
Yeah, right, kid. You see,
I'm talking about a deal on Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated?
Yeah. A savings of more than 50% off the cover price. 27 action-packed weeks for 3 installments of just $9.79 each. Kid, you're a hit. Hit! What about free videotape? The NFL Crunch Course. It's 43 minutes of the NFL's greatest hits. Makes a smashing gift, and it's free with your paid subscription. Free. Plus, you get their 87 baseball preview with schedule and their famous swimsuit issue. Major League! Just call their toll-free number. You can even use your credit card.
That's right. Get the savings, the schedule, the special issues, and the free Crunch Course tape. That's the big news. Any questions, gentlemen?
Where are the phones?
That'll be all right.
Sports Illustrated. Get the feeling.
Call now, 1-800-525-5600.
Back at the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, it's a 1-1 tie. Baltimore getting their goal from Drago, and on the opposite side, Tattoo scores it for Dallas. You know, earlier we talked about a lot of the coaching changes in the MISL. 5 out of 12 coaches have changed positions. One guy who's very secure is Ken Cooper. He talks about the key ingredients to be a winning coach.
Well, obviously the game is all about winning, and I think the way that I look at it, a coach has to have 4 things really in priority. That's discipline, preparation, application, and execution. I think the coach that makes the players see that, a good chance that he's going to be around and he's going to win a lot of games. The team's going to win a lot of games. But I think coaching is all about winning, and winning buys you time. There's a saying that the day you're hired, it's only a matter of time before you're fired. I think the coach that gets the best out of the players, because the game does belong to the players. And the biggest part of coaching, I think, is motivation. We all know that players can play. You have to put together a good system. But again, I think it comes back to discipline, preparation, application, and execution.
Some previously successful coaches actually bit the dust earlier this season. Beginning the season, Kansas City had Rick Benben, and the Los Angeles Lakers had Peter Wall. And if you follow our charts, they were replaced on an interim basis by Nicky Nikolic of Kansas City, and then ex-goalkeeper Mike Mahoney for Los Angeles. We switched to the current coaches. Dave Clemens, who you played for in St. Louis, and he's now coaching Kansas City. And Keith Tozer, a teammate of yours, right, in Cincinnati, now coaching Los Angeles. He becomes the youngest coach in the league. Then we switch over Pat McBride, who has coached, two-time Coach of the Year, in fact, coaching the Steamers. Willie Roy coaching Chicago at the start of the season, replaced by Tony Glavine and Eric Geyer. So many changes in the MISL, almost half the squad, almost half of the coaches. And actually in the beginning of the season when New York was around, Ray Klevecka was replaced by Mark Steffen. So why so many changes? Are teams panicking this early, or is it so much pressure to win now, Ty?
It's the usual story in professional sports. It's a lot easier to just change the coach than try and change half your roster. If you want to shake things up, you just take the coach and you hope that gets the players a little bit more motivated.
And out of all of those coaches that we looked at, certainly you can't fault Eric Geyer. He has been the most successful, taking Chicago from a losing record to a point where they're going to challenge, or so it appears, to a playoff competition. These kids are getting ready for the Van Jam as we get set to take it to a break from Dallas, Texas. The Sidekicks on a tattoo goal equalized Baltimore's Evan from Drago. One apiece from Reunion Arena in Texas.
In the year 4 million BC, man took a giant step. He got up off all fours. And now, after millions of years of evolution, man has discovered he's better off on all fours in a Vanagon Synchro.
Be right back, Pop.
This bud's for all that you do.
Hey, Pete. Come here. Miss you?
Hey, my glove. I found out Pop worked overtime to pay for it. He was always knocking himself out to give us something better.
Sounds a lot like you.
Budweiser, the king of beers,
Hey, Pop.
salutes everyone who's ever worked for more than just a paycheck.
Thanks. I think that's my line.
This bud's for you.
Why is the world-famous Metropolitan Life representative weighing and measuring us? MetLife has always been concerned about health. I didn't know that. For years now, MetLife has published useful tables showing the best weight for your height. And they've set aside $4 million for a program to expand health education in schools. I didn't know MetLife was that concerned about health. Get Met. It pays.
This time, this place has done a lot for me. The kind of thing happens when the beauty of a place overwhelms you. Things seem different, more positive. I'll be going home in a few days. But I'll be back.
Come back to yourself.
I'm Errol Comer.
And I'm Carl Grant.
Friday on Nation's Business Today, why entrepreneurs are volunteering in their communities.
This week's Small Business Report here on ESPN.
Guess what I saw in the woods today?
Another futuristic space vehicle?
Yeah.
And it had little green creatures inside.
Yeah?
Where was this one from? Mars?
No, Volkswagen.
Dallas is already better, one goal better, than the last time these two clubs met in this building, because they were shut out here on November 30th, but right now they are equal with the Baltimore Blast. The score is dead even at one apiece, and the superstar for Dallas is the man who makes it happen.
This is a great shot of Tattoo jockeying for position. He's holding up in the penalty area looking for something to break loose. Savage marking him at the last second. Tattoo reacts more quickly, gets his head on the ball. Van Aaron, as you can see, it hits him, but it happens so suddenly, just a little change of direction with the head. He can't stop it.
Now, every time Tattoo scores a goal, he takes the jersey off. This has been a tradition of his that he started when he played indoors in Tampa Bay. Have you ever wondered what would happen to him if he scored a goal and it was nullified and he didn't know about it? That actually happened in a game against Wichita. He scores a goal and it was called back against. Well, we'll let Tattoo explain exactly what happened.
Well, this was a really strange feeling because, it was a good goal. There's no doubt about, if I use my hands, I'll wait for the referee and see if he make it a call or not. But I didn't. I just put in automatic, and I turned around and took my jersey off. And the next thing I saw was a guy, disallowed the goal. And I got in trouble because the jersey was upside down and I couldn't get in, and I have to worry about the game and put the jersey on, and it was a really strange feeling, but it took me a little 30 seconds to get the jersey in the right place.
I want to tell you how popular this guy is. His shirts are often requested as auction items for local charity events. It has been auctioned for as much as $800. And here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, he and Bobby Valentine, the manager of the Texas Rangers, are said by many sports announcers to be the most charismatic sports figures in the area. And one other note, a national ice cream chain has just signed a deal with the Sidekicks for the month of March, promoting a new flavor, tattooed toffee. Can you believe that? And Sidekick Shake. You know you've made the big time when you've had ice cream named after you. Baltimore, as we look at halftime stats, are even with the Dallas Sidekicks. And the shots on goal, you couldn't ask it to be too much closer there. Same with saves, same with blocks. It's a pretty even game, Ty.
Like I said before, both hard-working teams, very disciplined, and you have to give credit to their coaches. Their Gordon Jago has done a great job with this new franchise, actually only third year in the league. Baltimore's Kenny Cooper, always known for his team organization.
Remember when they first started, too? You played against these guys 3 years ago. They had tattoo and nothing else. He knew how to play indoors because he had played it in the North American Soccer League. His stats were great, but the team was not. But right after that, Gordon Jago started to fit the pieces together, get the guys that can play with a superstar, and it's worked. They are right now a very solid franchise.
It's tough. Any first-year team takes its lumps, and they've been lucky enough to hold on to Tattoo because he's someone you can build around, and that's what they've done. They've got the kind of players that complement him, do the work for him, and he's been shining.
Incidentally, Jaime Diaz of Sports Illustrated wrote a story on Tattoo, and that's coming up either this issue or the very next one, so be on the lookout for that Sports Illustrated story on Tattoo. And right now, here at halftime, it is time for the Volkswagen Van Jam. As the kids come running out, let's go downstairs on the field to the public address announcer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Volkswagen United States, the Sidekicks welcome you to today's special intermission event, the 1987 Volkswagen Van Jam. Some of you may remember how college students used to enjoy stuffing themselves into Volkswagen Beetles years ago. Well, the Volkswagen Van Jam follows the same idea, but it takes one better by inviting youth groups to compete with each other to raise funds for MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For today's event, we've recruited more than 200 young soccer fans from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex who'll be vying for top Van Jam honors. At the sound of the starting horn, each group will run from the sidelines and try to squeeze, stuff, cram, and jam as many people as they can into the official Wolfsburg Limited Van Edition Jam vehicles until time or space runs out. Participant safety is vital, so jammers must keep standing with 2 feet on the floor at all times. Strategy and timing are of the essence, as in the ability to be at close quarters with 50 or more of your fellow human beings. The official Van Jam vehicles are in their places, and our young jammers have taken their field position on the sidelines. As soon as we hear from the starting horn, the 1987 Dallas-Fort Worth Van Jam will begin. They are off and jamming. Ladies and gentlemen, the official 1987 Van Jam vehicle is the exquisitely appointed Volkswagen Wolfsburg Limited Edition Vanagon, the top of the Volkswagen van lineup. Just like the young jammers who are competing right now, this Wolfsburg model and the rest of the Vanagon line base their competitive appeal on the ability to stand out in today's crowded market. You might even say Volkswagen is trying to squeeze out the competition with the Vanagon lineup. The Volkswagen Beetle used to be the favorite car for jamming kids into, and since Volkswagen was one of the very first van makers, Van Jam seemed the natural way to demonstrate this exceptional vehicle's versatility and, of course, its roominess. With the seats removed or folded flat, there's an incredible 200 cubic feet of cargo area, but these youngsters are pushing that way past its limit today. The first official Van Jam took place last September during the halftime of a University of Hawaii football game at Aloha Stadium, Honolulu. A total of 95 members from a hula club crowded and squeezed into the Volkswagen Vanagon to establish the Van Jam record. Last week, a total of 77 Youth Soccer League members managed to accommodate themselves in the Wolfsburg Vanagon at the San Diego Sockers and New York Express game. The Van Jam was also a popular halftime feature at the sold-out MISL All-Star Game at the Los Angeles Forum. Our time is finished. They're loaded in. After today's event, another 8 Van Jams are scheduled in various cities across the nation. All Van Jams will be broadcast on ESPN during major indoor soccer league games and are scheduled to air throughout playoff and championship matches in June. Van Jam isn't just a big spectacle, though. It's all for a good cause, and it's really refreshing to see these kids doing this. They're having a good time and a lot of fun, although it's hard to imagine what it must be like to be in there. Every jammer gets an official I Survived the Volkswagen Van Jam t-shirt with stickers, and everyone gets to be on national TV. The Jammers are also special guests of Volkswagen and the Dallas Sidekicks with prime seats for today's exciting, action-packed soccer match. In fact, the team which jams the most people into the official Wolfsburg limited edition Van Jam vehicle will win season tickets to the Dallas Sidekicks 1987-88 home schedule. Let's pause for a moment and return with the final Van Jam numbers.
And before we return for those final numbers, let's take a look at some impressive numbers. The goals, not that many, but they were good ones. Drago scoring and then getting the equalizer was Tattoo. Let's take a look, Ty, at the highlights.
Andy Chapman attacking down the right wing. You see him looking up there, just glancing up to see if his other forward is in position. He cracks the ball off the boards, using the boards so that Drago can sprint into position. He barely beat Stock Lawson to tip it in under Sobiewski. So well-executed goal there.
It was early in the first quarter at 5:30, in fact, and the lead stayed the same for Baltimore all the way through that first quarter and into the second quarter, but in Tattoo's case, you can't keep a good man down.
Dallas's goal here, a nicely floated ball by Doc Lawson, finding Marcio Leite open on some space on the left side. He cracks the ball low, and Tattoo just reacts more quickly, gets past Savage, and gets his head with a diving header as he lands in the net.
Talk about a game of inches. Van Aaron missed it. Not by much. Savage was not that far away from Tattoo. Furphy almost headed the initial pass to Leite from Lawson, but the end result is that Dallas worked it to perfection, and they got the tying goal. So that made it even at 1-1. Now let's go back downstairs. We'll get some more results for you. Back downstairs to the floor to our public address announcer.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've just been given the signal by the Van Jam officials that they're ready to announce today's winners. Let's go directly to the field and find out, will it be the red team or the blue team? Who are the best jammers?
Thank you, folks. I hope you can hear me because I can barely hear myself. Good afternoon. I'm Don Tench from Volkswagen of America, representing Volkswagen United States Incorporated. It's my great pleasure to announce today's Van Jam results. In second place with 69 people jammed in is the red team. And I'm happy to announce that the grand total winning number for the blue team was 73 people. Here with us today, representing the Dallas chapter of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, is Nikki Garza. Thanks for joining us, Nikki. Two of our jammers are here to present you with a check for $1,460, and that represents $20 for every jammer in our van this afternoon. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you had a grand time. I know the kids did. And remember, safety first, don't drink and drive. Thank you.
And that's our Volkswagen Van Jam for this half here in Dallas, Texas. It's a 1-1 tie between Dallas and Baltimore. Right now, I would like to tell you about ordering some important information from the Major Indoor Soccer League. There's a look at their 1986-87 media guide. That and their rule book are now available to the general public. Just send $1 if you're interested, or $10. I'm sorry, I just lowered the price. $10 for the media guide, $5 for the rule book to MISL Publications, 757 3rd Avenue, Suite 2305E, New York, New York, 10017. Our next MISL telecast on ESPN will occur next week. Cleveland will meet San Diego on Sunday. It'll be replayed on Monday, March the 2nd at 12 a.m. Two top teams, Cleveland, one of the top teams right now, the top team in the Eastern Division, and the San Diego Sockers currently are in second place. Let's tell you about some of the action last night in the MISL. San Diego beats Cleveland in overtime 6-5. Chicago beats Wichita 8-4 at home. Kansas City over St. Louis 6-5, and Minnesota a winner over Tacoma, also by the score of 6-5. Later on tonight, Tacoma is at Los Angeles. And while we have the opportunity, let's salute a couple of MISL players on great streaks. Jan Goossens of Kansas City, a 27-game scoring streak, and Batata, who played for Los Angeles for 3 years, made the All-Star team, left there this year, came to Chicago. He has a 28-game scoring streak, and he is one of the major reasons why Chicago has elevated themselves from the depths of the East right up into contention. So hats off to those two players, Goossens and Batata. The crowd reaction in the background was because Tattoo came sprinting out. He was the first player out there. You know, that hamstring must feel pretty good right now, Ty, not because he scored a goal, but we were told earlier by Gordon Jago that they may switch off Mickey Kites with Tattoo when the ball was lost and Dallas had to defend. Kites would come on. When they got it back offensively, Tattoo would come on, and I've seen Kites on one shift, but I don't think that was even for Tattoo, so maybe Tattoo's feeling better.
No, we haven't seen them utilize that tactic, which San Diego and Tacoma have used with Zungel. In other words, save his legs only when they're attacking, and then when the ball goes down to the other end, get him off and put one of the young players on to do some of the work. So obviously Tattoo must be feeling okay now. I think they're a little bit concerned about whether it'll be sore after the game, though.
Kenny Cooper, there's the record. Not too many people could brag about a better record than that. And Kenny Cooper, we visited him before the game. He had words up on the board that you would expect to hear with any coach. Maybe they just sound different with Kenny, or maybe they listen a little bit better, but the words intensity were there. Go both ways were there. Things that are obvious, but you still got to point them out to the players. And we look at Gordon Jago. That record is very misleading because when he came in and took an expansion team, no one would have had more than 12 wins. But Gordon Jago got the club together, and in the second year, they were 25-23. Well, if the game's on the line and you're picking goalkeepers, these are two of the guys you'd pick. Van Aaron for Baltimore, and on the opposite side, Chris Sobieski. They don't get beat by many cheap goals in this kind of a situation, and the pressure's going to be on. Next goal could be an important goal. We've got a lot of stats that show where teams go when they have a lead. And the Dallas Sidekicks, for instance, are 16-1 overall when they're leading after 3 quarters. And there's something to be said about stats that are that far ahead. Sometimes stats can be misleading, but when teams can't come from behind, or they always win when they have a lead, that says something. Van Aaron, as the third quarter is underway. Hayden Knight intercepting it for Dallas. A 1-1 tie for Tattoo. Stankovic on him. Tattoo off the boards. He's passing it for Knight, but it never gets there. Now it's Dallas almost picking it off, but there goes Drago down the left with the speed. Right side, Chapman, soft touch. It's played by Freddie Thompson, his first shift. Looking to get it back, and it's taken over by Marcio Leite of Dallas. Freddie Thompson from George Mason University, his first shift of the game. And almost made things happen. Nice soft touch from Chapman. Dallas played the other night with just 12 field players because of their injuries. Besides Moreland not playing, Howard Gale also out of the lineup. They've had some injury problems here. But the other night they were resting players. In fact, Keith Weller worked with the defenders to try and rotate them. Gordon Jago with the other players, and they worked real well. Ball is played back the other way, and now it's Van Aaron. Still holding it. Dallas still missing the services of Perry Vanderbeek, another good player. He's been out since last year. They're not expecting him back, not in the close future anyway. He had a knee injury that was a real serious one a year ago. Ball played back now to Lawson. The doctor with Sobieski advancing from his net, trying to make something happen offensively for Dallas. That's one way to try and break up Baltimore's defense. Up for Stride, broken up. Drago's going to get it, but he can't turn with Stride there. A good thing because Sobieski was a long way, miles away from goal. A 1-1 tie if you just joined us, 13:15 to go. Third quarter from Dallas. John Paul Delacamera along with Ty Keogh filling in this afternoon for Seamus Mallon. Back the other way, Wes McLeod from the neutral zone. Side of the foot pass, outside of the foot for Stride. Now it's Mark Carpet. Back for David Stride. He and Doc Lawson paired defensively. For Radwanski, high off the glass it goes. It stays in play off Drago and off McLeod, but Drago leads the rush. 3-on-2, Radwanski with great speed catching up, but Drago lays it up for Child. On his right foot, try to cut in the box, broken up. The Doctor doing the damage there.
Good hustle by Radwanski to get back there and get some numbers to try and break up that break that Baltimore had.
He forced Baltimore to do something that they weren't comfortable doing. Leite lays it on. Kevin Smith, low shot wide. Leite couldn't get that rebound. Knight shoots it wide, and Carpenter just missed it. Rolled right past him. Lawson holding it against Keith Murphy. A 1-1 tie with 12:15 to go. Third quarter for Leite with his back to goal, leading it. Hayden Knight, the shot up high, a little too high, not by much. Far side, it is Lawson to Leite. Marcio in for Carpet off his foot. Whitman had him all tied up, and Van Aaron comes up with an easy play. Paul Child once scored 8 points in a game. Plays it back to Van Aaron. Now to Keith Murphy. Murphy with a cut on Tattoo. Left puts it ahead for Billy Ronson. He and Freddie Thompson crisscross. Now on the left side. It's taken back once more by Murphy to Bruce Savage. Mike Powers on him. Played up the right boards. Freddie Thompson jamming in the corner. Kevin Smith working hard. Wins it. Played it into some open space, and Leite begins to run. Left-footed pass. Up the wing for Mike Powers. Powers has to send it back the other way as Dallas will change up on the fly. Wes McLeod just coming on with Radwanski. Short shift or short break for Radwanski. Here's McLeod on the right foot. A shot went just wide as McLeod was nailed by Savage. Holding is the call. And that's just a foul, not a penalty.
McLeod, a great run down the right side as he tries to muscle off Ronson. Ronson stays in there. He still gets the shot off even though he's got 2 defenders against him.
Tattoo shooting it off the post and out, and it goes back in off Wes McLeod. It's 2-1. McLeod may not have touched it because the jersey of Tattoo is tossed into the crowd, but the first shot went in and came out. The goal light never came on unless it hit a Baltimore defender. That happened real quick.
I think it may have hit off of Bruce Savage, who was standing there near the goal trying to mark some space. It just came out so quickly as Tattoo launched a low shot, just skipping along the AstroTurf. It catches the inside of the post. You can't come much closer without it going in off the post, but look at how much velocity is on that ball. It comes popping out. Here you see it hits Savage in the shin before he can react. It rolls in. Van Aaron's already out of position from trying to stop the first shot.
That's how quickly it happened. I thought it had hit McLeod, but it hit off Savage, and the Dallas Sidekicks now take the lead because of Tattoo. It's 2-1, Sidekicks.
Don't miss out on the fun and excitement. Bud Sports and ESPN bring you the major indoor soccer league game of the week. It's the MISL on ESPN. Check local listings for times.
Two to 1. The Dallas Sidekicks are leading at Tattoo's last goal, unassisted, off of the direct kick and then off of Bruce Savage. Long pass the other way, and Radwanski gives it up for Uremovich. Some juggling there by Mike, but now Whitman sends it back in. Dallas leading for the first time this afternoon. In the corner, Sidekicks work hard for it. Stride and Wes McLeod, but it's won by Chapman. Blocked by Uremovich. He may have saved the goal. To the right side boards, Radwanski. 10:45 to go. Third quarter, Dallas up 2-1. 2 goals by Tattoo. 1 for each bad hamstring. Radwanski finds Smith, pulls Van Aaron out. Deeks, the shot, stopped by McKenzie. And he saved a goal, but the initial shot was deadened on the block. Dallas gets it back. Smith, blocked by Whitman. And Stankovic gets it back. The last thing Baltimore wanted to do was give up another goal right there. 2 of them back-to-back.
Van Aaron did well. He stood his ground. He waited for Smith to make his move, then reacted to it and was able to get a piece of it.
Yeah, you've got to credit Keith for really forcing Smith into a position that he didn't want to be in. Ball is played back to Sobieski. A 2-1 Dallas lead, but now the Sidekicks start to come on strong offensively. Radwanski to Tattoo. Taken down. Dished it off. Radwanski shooting it wide. Tattoo even going down on the floor makes the pass. Working against 2 players. Knocks it loose. Child taken down by Wes McLeod. We've got a foul on Dallas. Their first for the quarter. That equals Baltimore's foul total. But I think as we saw along the boards there, the work rate of Tattoo is just tremendous. He doesn't just wait up in front at the far post and look for the garbage goals. He works hard to get that ball himself, and he'll lay it off, as evidenced by the fact that he's got already 23 assists going into the game. So it's not just all goals from Tattoo.
And over by the boards, too. He'll go in and dig it out, and that's a lot of times a thankless job. You can take a lot of punishment along there. The defenders know they have you hemmed up against it. And, you know, for Tattoo being the star player he is around the goal, you know, if he's really thinking about it, that might not pay that much for him, but he's willing to do it for his team.
Keith Van Aaron rolling it left side to Keith Furphy. He's going to send this one long. It stays in play. Headed up by Knight to Tattoo. Savage has to hustle back. Savage with a bump, and Tattoo flicks it. Leite trying to control it. Heads it off the boards, and then Van Aaron with a block, but Van Aaron's called for the foul. This is a direct kick. All kicks this year are direct, and Tattoo will face a two-man wall, and I hate to be the man that blocks this. I'd want a suit of armor for this assignment. Tattoo pointing out the directions. He's the general out there. He'll dictate it. Plays it in front, and he just missed Lawson. The doctor can't believe that one. Leite clears it back the other way. And Sobieski is right there. Sometimes it looks so easy from up here, but it's not.
Well, Tattoo sees the game so well. He saw that slot that Lawson was moving into. He did have to hit it hard to make sure the ball got through, and that made it difficult for Lawson to be able to connect with it.
Lawson plays it back now to Wes McLeod. All the way back for Sobieski. 9:03 to go. Third quarter from Dallas. Site of the All-Star game, not next year. Next year it's in Tacoma, Washington, but the year after that. The 1989 All-Star game. Right side, Lawson played it in the box. He looked to pass it. Now McLeod to Leite. Right back, McLeod off the boards. Tattoo just missed. Didn't quite kick it. It looked like it hit off his foot and changed direction. Lawson is taken down. That's the third Baltimore foul, but Dallas came close again. Confidence starting to pick up on the part of the Sidekicks as Wes McLeod puts it in play to Leite. Marcio on the left foot. Plays it in for Tattoo, trying to dish it off for Lawson, and Freddie Thompson gets in the way. Watch out for Furphy breaking on the left, but Hayden Knight has his assignment. Furphy with a good run towards the D. Now it's blocked out of play. Last touch by Hayden Knight, but he did a good job and took away a Baltimore offensive thrust.
Hayden Knight did very well because he knows Furphy generally goes to his left very well. He forced Furphy to stay to his right, and as you can see, Furphy has fewer options when he is limited to that.
Speaking of options, Tattoo had some options when he had the direct kick against the two-man wall. Here's another look.
He's looking for Lawson all the way through. He cracks the ball hard. Lawson is just about there. Couldn't get his foot out in time. Like I said, Tattoo has to put a lot of pace on that ball to get it past that wall.
That ball was spinning, and it looked like it took a deep spin as it hit those boards and went right around him. It looked a little bit harder the second time when we saw that from that angle in the replay. On the restart, we've got Dallas leading it 2-1. Baltimore has the free kick. McKenzie over by those near boards for Stankovic. Stankovic trying to put it on the left foot, knocked away by Radwanski. Now it's Tim Whitman. Got to watch out for Stankovic. He's been quiet, but still a lot of time left. A loose ball, and it trickles wide. Chapman and Stride each appear to get a whack at it. And that's not one that Sobieski would have wanted to give up. Not an artistic goal, but it would have counted if it had gone in. Powers to Radwanski. 2-1 Dallas. Taken away. Whitman. Jimmy Whitman settling it down. He scored 7 goals last year in 7 games when Ken Cooper moved him up to a forward. Try and shake things up, but he's back on defense.
He's got a very high work rate and definitely one of the quickest foot speed players in the league.
And he can turn it on when he gets that step ahead of you. Played in for Stankovic. He's held, but he still gets it. Drago on the volley. What a score! Drago on the volley. A spectacular goal, as you'll see, from Mike Stankovic, who was actually held all the way, and I'm sure the replay will bear that one out. It's tied at 2.
A brilliant display of technique by Drago. He waited for that ball to drop into the right position to snap his leg. Many times a forward or someone shooting will swing at that ball sooner before it's dropped down. He'll put it way into the stands. Drago showing that technique that he does have, stayed over the ball and put it into the upper corner. You see the play forming as they set it up. Drago laying the ball in. Stankovic using his strength to hold off the defender. And then knows Drago's making that run to the far post. Drago waiting, like I said, and getting over the ball. You see him drop his opposite knee. He bends it down to get the body low, to get the leg over the ball.
Well, we teased you at the beginning about Drago and Tattoo. They're the story. 2 goals apiece, and we're even in Dallas.
Give me a light.
That's not correct, Steve. Don't just ask for a light beer.
Come on, give me a light.
You asked for it, Steve.
Bud Light!
Yes, Steve. Bud Light. The light beer with the first name and taste.
Don't just ask for a light.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light, Steve.
You know, we used to drive a car, but then we outgrew it. So we bought one of those minivans, and we outgrew that. If we ever outgrow this Volkswagen van again, we're really in trouble.
Get this state-of-the-art electronic push-button phone free. When you buy 10 rolls or more of Owens Corning Pink Fiberglass Insulation.
There's a look at the goal scorer, Drago, and I'm sure that you'll agree that this goal bears worth watching at least one more time, Ty.
A good snap on the shot by Drago, and a beautiful setup to the play. When you see Stankovic holding his position and finding Drago on the far post, Drago having enough time to let that ball get into the good position for the shot.
So he gets that goal to tie it at 2 as Van Aaron stops it with a header, and now with Tattoo right on him, has to get it out. Tattoo from the far side, working against Ronson, draws the foul. 4th foul in Baltimore. Tattoo tried to kick it quickly on the restart. He says he didn't have a chance. Well, they're letting play go on. Lawson to Hayden Knight. All the way back for the doctor. A 2-2 tie now here in Dallas. Tattoo will be called for this foul against Savage, and Marty Templin says no more. Back off. Descent penalties have to be down this year in the MISL because if you give a player a warning, they don't usually test you anymore. On the right side, here's the great one, Tattoo. Broken up by Savage, up for Paul Child. Child knocking it back to Furphy. In a space, Savage on a good run from the back. Savage blocked by Leite, and now Marcio will try to turn it up the floor. He's slowed down. Savage just stayed right with him. And now it's Lawson coming back, a 2-2 tie. 6:40 to go, 3rd quarter. Lots of time left here in Dallas. Kevin Smith putting the brakes on from 45, 50 feet out. Tattoo and Savage kind of hanging on to each other like dance partners. On the right side, Radwanski over the line, being pressured by Freddie Thompson. Cuts it back away from Drago to Lawson. The doctor long for Kevin Smith off the boards. Smith plays it back now for Hayden Knight. A reminder that Ty and I will be picking our Metropolitan Life players of the game when this one is over. 1 for each side. Lawson off the boards. Radwanski missing on the header attempt. That would have been spectacular if he connected. Smith to Tattoo, picked up by Stankovic. Tattoo, look at the way he holds onto that ball, shielding it. Now he tried to play back to Knight. He and Child are off to the races for this one. Tattoo just does so many things well. You could talk for 5 minutes about every good part of the game he does, not have enough time during a broadcast.
About the only negative thing I've seen is he tends to lose his cool sometimes out of frustration, and today you may see it because he's playing in some pain, and that's going to take its toll. You see him a little bit of frustration setting in from time to time.
Bruce Savage trying to mark him. Tattoo. I want to get back to that, too, because Savage told me before the game he thinks Tattoo is a little bit calmer, maybe a little more mature. I remember last year he took quite a few of those. Here's Jeremovic wide. And now it's cleared back the other way. He still has quite a few penalty minutes this year, but he's got a bigger role, it seems, on this year's club. McLeod to the D. The shot. Blocked a couple times. It's loose. Tattoo couldn't pull the trigger. That ball was hopping on him, and we've got another whistle on the foul. And this one goes against Dallas as well, and that'll be 3 on the Sidekicks. That time, no luck on the roll, or Dallas could have had the lead again.
No, Tattoo was there. The ball was there. He was swinging his leg, but too much congestion, too much traffic, all happening at once.
Stankovic going long. Tim Whitman off the boards. No trailer. Now there's one in Chapman. He's taken down by David Stride, and that's 2. David Stride will sit out on a 2-minute minor penalty. Marty Templin already telling Tattoo to back off. He doesn't want to hear it. 4:53 to go Still in the third quarter. It's even at 2, and David Stride not too happy about the call. Power play when we return from Baltimore.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. Buy your copy at B. Dalton's, Walden Books, or wherever paperbacks are sold. A fresh look at today's problems.
The glittering conclusion to a season of record-breaking performances. Join ESPN for the USA Mobile Indoor Track and Field Championships, featuring pole vaulter Sergei Budka, triple gold medalist Valerie Briscoe, hurdler Greg Foster, and more. Live Friday night on ESPN.
Power play on now for Baltimore with a chance to take the lead. You may recall earlier when Baltimore had a man advantage, Dallas killed it, only allowed them one shot, not counting, of course, the one that Chapman hit off the goalpost. That did not count as a shot on goal. Stankovic to Drago. He has 2 goals, so does Tattoo. It's even. 2 apiece. Murphy, the shot, blocked right into the outstretched. And now Sobieski will kill some time himself. He'll make someone come to him. Brady does. He sends it up the left side. Ken Cooper showing confidence in the rookie Brady, putting him on the power play here. Radwanski, a good penalty killer, chasing Murphy. Murphy will turn the other way. Try to leave it for Drago, and now Drago gets it to Mike Stankovic. Wherever Stankovic plays, in the back, in the midfield, up front, he's one of the great players to play this game indoors.
He's a controlling force. You see, he sees the game well. He's very strong, and he's a threat with his shot with either foot, too. Very powerful shot.
Had a great all-star game in Los Angeles. To Furphy. Back for Mike Stankovic. Back for Furphy. Baltimore showed a lot of patience on their first power play. Here's the left-footed drive off the post and out. Oh, they just toyed that time with Dallas. Stankovic back and forth trying to lull Dallas, and then all of a sudden the quickness of the shot.
And the power, too. It's a heavy shot. Some guys hit quick shots. Some people hit heavy shots. His is definitely heavy.
There's a shot from Furphy, blocked by Radwanski. Stankovic again off the boards, putting it right back into the danger zone. Out comes Kevin Smith. But we've already got whistle, and we've got a player down. It was Drago. I didn't see what had happened. It happened when the ball apparently was coming back the other way. He may have had the wind knocked out of him, but he's back up. A very durable player for someone his size. He's not very big.
You can see here what happens is Radwanski slows up to impede Drago's progress, puts the shoulder in the middle of his chest. He's very lucky he doesn't get 2 minutes called against him.
Yeah, you'd have grounds for that, I'm sure. That was tough to see, though, because he doesn't really nail him head on. It's a shoulder to the side, shoulder to shoulder.
Well, at first I thought perhaps Drago was exaggerating it, because sometimes players do run into each other, both looking at the ball, and they don't even see each other. But that one, you could see the intent. Radwanski slowed up just enough so that Drago would catch his shoulder.
Stankovic on the restart for Furphy. Brings it back to the right foot, blocked by Radwanski. And Radwanski grew up in the New Jersey area. One of the good young Americans in the game. Here's another good one, Michael Brady. Chased by Wes McLeod. Part of what Dallas called last year the no-score 4, their penalty killing unit. Stankovic. 23 seconds left in the power play. McKenzie. Right side. Brady. McKenzie to the middle for Stankovic. A 2-2 tie. Blast power play with time running out. Stankovic, 10 seconds to go on a man advantage. Chapman right foots it, blocked by Kevin Smith. He'll pick it up. That'll kill off the rest of the time. 3 seconds to... That's it. Again, the Sidekicks penalty killers do the job. Stride comes right out and gets the ball. Stride with Mickey Kites. Stride on the left foot, holding it, trying to pass it. Stankovic, good play defensively.
Good anticipation by Stankovic, showing that experience that he does have. He just waited for Stride to try and lay that pass through and stepped right in front.
2:35 to go, third quarter, and it's even at 2. Tim Whitman can't get it around Mark Carpin. Carpin is broken up as we had 2 more players go down, Tattoo and Whitman. Tattoo appealing to the officials to call something there, but he doesn't get the break. Van Aaron on the right side. Billy Ronson over midfield for Child in the corner. Now it's Kites playing it back to Sobieski. Roll to the right to Mike Powers. Looking for Tattoo. Savage right with him. Carpet running down the left wing, and so is Kites trying to find an opening. Now Tattoo shielding it. Plays it back for Lawson. Lawson looked for Kites, but Kites was coming toward him, and the doctor played it long. Baltimore will take it. This is a good team, the Baltimore Blast. They play for each other. They don't depend anymore on the one player like they did with Stamenkovic. As good as an individual or as great an individual as Drago, it's more of a team game with the Blast this year.
And they seem to be able to dictate the pace in different parts of the game. They seem to get a signal from Ken Cooper to either go full out forward or try to contain. And it's very obvious they take those orders well.
They can play so many different ways. Lawson for Tattoo. On the right side, a 2-2 tie. And Tattoo has them both. Drago, both goals the other way. Powers to Kaides. All the way back for Sobieski. 1:15 to go. Third quarter. Even. 2 goals apiece. Lawson with it. The doctor looking for some room to operate against Murphy. Left puts it off the boards. It hops too far out. No one can get there. Now Kaides from Long Island University. His first season. Up for Tattoo. Savage knocked it all away. Right side. It's picked up by Powers. And we've got a foul in Baltimore. It's going to be 5 on the Blast, 4 against Dallas. So the fouls have picked up less than 50 seconds to go in the game, or in the third quarter. Tied at 2. Here's Lawson shooting it off the boat, post and out. Chasing it, Hayden Knight. 42 seconds left. Even at 2. Hayden Knight waiting as Leite comes on. Up for Tattoo. Kicked away from him. Child will try to settle it. Now it's cleared up the floor, and Uremovich is right there in his position to take it over. Left side to Carpet. Now for Tattoo as Leite makes a run for the box. Tattoo trying to draw perhaps that 6th foul on Savage. Spinning against him. Tattoo to the boards. Trying to get the shot away, and Van Aaron comes out and smothers it. Tattoo saying that Savage got a piece of him.
I don't think so. I think he's just dramatizing the situation. He threw his body down, trying to make it look like Savage got a piece of him.
7 seconds to go. Third quarter, even at 2. Hayden Knight dribbles left, around the boards. Sent wide by Tattoo, or Megan Leite, the other Brazilian player of the Dallas Sidekicks. And as he goes down, the quarter ends. Tattoo upset with the play of Savage. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, good game, and it's going to go right down to the wire, it looks like. Baltimore 2, Dallas 2 from the Reunion Arena in Dallas.
Here's a shot in the back of the net, and that'll be Neil Roberts' goal.
Soccer's the #1 sport in the world, but it takes practice to become a skilled player. Sockback is a revolutionary new way to sharpen athletic skills and enhance eye-foot coordination by yourself or with friends. Sockback's a regulation soccer ball with detachable cord and belt that creates the perfect practice and coaching tool for trapping, heading, shots on goal, goalie practice, and bad weather won't stop the fun. Sockback is safe for indoor use too, but who said it's just for soccer? Sockback makes a great exercise and fun ball.
Hi, I'm Neil Roberts, professional soccer player, introducing the revolutionary new soccer training ball. It's a great coaching tool and helps players develop healthy, challenging skills that will last a lifetime. Here's how to order your Sockback.
To order your Sockback, call 1-800-253-4000, 1-800-253-4000, and have your Visa or MasterCard ready. Just $21.95 plus $3 postage and handling. Call 1-800-253-4000 and order your Sockback today.
Friday, postseason play begins on ESPN. See a Sun Belt Tournament semifinal live at 7 Eastern Friday.
This America's Cup update is brought to you by Cadillac, official sponsor of America's Cup coverage.
We'll be there in 1990, and I hope that I can do as the sign said that I saw out there, out on the pier this afternoon with all the other people that were out there, the many screaming people, which was tremendous experience. Do as the sign said, and that was that what goes up must come down.
Cadillac understands, perhaps better than anyone, the kind of determined spirit it takes to win back the America's Cup. It's more than talent, more than dedication. It's teamwork and a product of the latest technology that will prove America's leadership. Believing in these qualities have helped make Cadillac America's luxury car leader for 38 straight years. We're Cadillac, a proud sponsor in the effort to bring back the America's Cup.
Another shot of Dallas, Texas at the end of 3 quarters of play. Baltimore and Dallas are dead even at 2 apiece. So just like all of our previous games here on ESPN, looks like this one's going to go right down to the wire. And a record regular season crowd, there are the numbers, 12,886 on hand to watch this one. In that third quarter of play, give Baltimore 7 shots, give Dallas 4, and the goalkeepers didn't have to be busy that time. 1 saved apiece.
Here we see Tattoo's goal. What presence of mind he has. He just decides to take a shot anyway, even though there's a restraining wall in front of him. He cracks the ball hard and low, Past Van Aaron, it catches the inside of the post, bounces out, hits Savage in the foot before it can react, and rolls past Van Aaron, who is out of position from trying to make the initial save.
That goal at the time gave Dallas the lead, but Baltimore was not through.
Not at all, as Drago lays the ball into Stankovic. Stankovic, what vision. He just senses that Drago's making that run over to that far side, and Drago, what execution on the shot. He snaps the leg, he makes sure he gets his leg over the ball and keeps it up under the crossbar into the upper corner.
That kind of a goal belongs not only in the Blast highlight film, but also in the league highlight film. That's the skill of an indoor soccer player. Drago getting credit for that last goal.
And Stankovic, too. I mean, he had to have eyes in the back of his head to know that Drago was moving into that position.
When we look back, I didn't see anybody's mouth open, so I'm not sure. Maybe Drago would call him. You don't know, because lots of times players will do that and call for the ball, but I think it was more the awareness of Stankovic.
It's instinct after players have played together for a while.
Here's Knight. And the attack in off the post. Smith blocked by Stankovic. Almost a goal about 8 seconds into the quarter. Around the boards, intended for Leite, and it's broken up. Up the left wing side. Baltimore. Karavic, his first chip. Mirsad Karavic, 10 years in Yugoslavia's first division. Has 2 goals this year, both coming in a game against Los Angeles this week. Now it's Hayden Knight. 14:28 to go in the game, or at least in regulation time. Even at 2. And the offensive stars have been Tattoo and Drago. This is Tattoo again. Off the boards. Deflected, and it comes out to Karavic. Now to Drago. So Kenny Cooper putting Karavic on, trying to get his legs going. Maybe he could be a factor in this one before it's over. This is Tattoo again. His 40th and 41st goals of the season for Hayden Knight. Off the boards, he may get his own ball for Tattoo. Try to control it, blocked into the crowd by Stankovic. That came close. And some good sportsmanship on the part of Tattoo and Stankovic, each saying, hey, you did your part well, no problem.
Stankovic stepped in at the right time to block that. Otherwise, Tattoo, given a little bit more room to maneuver, he'll pack those away.
Or even just a split second to just control that ball. So Tattoo with a couple of goals, and Drago. Goals 22 and 23 for Baltimore. We mentioned it before. It's significant since they made that trade. Baltimore now 9-2, and Chicago with Buriano and Matthew also have been winning. From the far side, off the boards, just wide of Tattoo. Van Aaron trying to position his players as Lawson plays it back. David Stride at midfield, going long, looking for Tattoo off the board. Savage with a header, and it goes out of play. On our first televised game, remember, Savage and Drago were against each other, and Drago told me after the game he liked playing against Savage. He was a tough defender, but he said he plays him clean. Now they're teammates. Right side for Lawson. Holding it, plays it in front, and Van Aaron dives to his left to make the play. That ball may have been a little bit off net. Up the left wing. Keith Perfect, 13 and a half to go. Fourth quarter, even at 2. Stankovic. Working one-on-one. Lawson knocks it away for Leite. Stankovic in there tight against Leite. Up for Tattoo. In the neutral zone, right along the Baltimore bench. Getting just by Savage, but there's help on its way, and Stankovic knocks it back to Van Aaron.
Great balance by Tattoo. They had him tied up. They had a piece of him. He's still going forward after all that.
Stankovic now knocks it back, and Savage will settle. For Perfect. Keith Perfect at his own red line. It's a 2-2 tie, less than 13 minutes to go. Chapman knocking it back. Perfect again. Dallas in a tight man-to-man here. Play to the right wing boards. Chapman. Uremovic won't let him turn. Off the boards, and we've got a holding call, or what should be a holding call. Uremovic had them all tied up.
But Chapman got his body in there well to draw that foul, because actually Uremovic had the inside track initially. Chapman using his body along the boards as he does so well, and then drawing the foul.
Billy Ronson putting it in play. Ronson with some options here to McKenzie, and it hit off Sobianski, guarding that short side. A little more room there, and that ball might have snuck through, so Sobianski blocked that corner.
I don't think he saw it, but he was in the right position.
On the right side, Perfect. Broken up by McLeod to Carpin. Settled down by David Stride. Now for Wes McLeod. And a handball. Those are tough ones to get called on, because they counted the 6th foul. And right there's not much that Wes McLeod could do, but he's tagged for it, and that's Dallas's 2nd foul. And they don't want that to be a factor, especially in a game that's tied up.
It becomes more and more critical as we go along. The man advantage situation is something Baltimore has not been successful in so far today, but at any time they could be with the type of players they do have as a part of their power play unit.
Baltimore and Dallas tied at 2. Baltimore comes into the game with the lowest goals against allowed in the league. Only 101 goals given up. And they're holding true to that tough defensive record here this afternoon, but so is Dallas with Sobieski holding the fort. Here's Stride. Over the line. Plays it in wide. He wanted Radwanski. Now it's Whitman. Up for Chapman. Kevin Smith put his face in the way of danger and drew the dangerous play on Ronson.
Dangerous play foul. Call against the left.
Smith in the restart for Stride. His shot is blocked, but they put it in play too quickly. Tell you what, Kevin Smith really gambling with his future maybe there, throwing his head in the way of that high kick. But you don't think about it when you're out there. Here's Radwanski wide open. Off the boards and wide, and for one of the few times Baltimore just got caught not picking up their men.
A missed assignment there,
to say the least, as the ball is cleared into the Dallas end. Sobieski knocking it off the glass. Right side, Uremovich. Knocked away by Ronson off the boards. Chapman getting in deep, and Sobieski just with the right hand out.
How cool is Sobieski? Some goalkeepers would have committed already. He just stepped back and stuck his hand out.
Whitman on the right for McKenzie. Dave McKenzie. Played in more games than any player in the MISL. Averages over 45 a game, or a season, I'm sorry. Right side, Radwanski. Slowing it down. To the right. Picked up there by Smith. In the box, Karpin. Held up by Stankovic. Right side, Radwanski to the right point. Mike Powers pursued by Drago. 11:06 to go, regulation time. It's even at 2. Up for Radwanski. Knocked to the left side boards. Hayden Knight. Picked up by Brady. Sent back to Sobieski. He was heading upfield, and the ball was going the other way.
What a great run he was making.
Talk about disaster. What could have been disaster. Shots on goal. Baltimore 18-17 the other way. Long ball the other way. Van Aaron knocks it away. Tattoo with 2 goals already. Holding it up. Plays it back to Hayden Knight. To Leite. Now to McLeod. Wes McLeod fakes, takes it to the right side, a shot, fingertip save. And Van Aaron steered it far enough so Tattoo had no rebound. Off the boards. Knight walks in, blocked, settled. McLeod, save. Keith Van Aaron comes up spectacular.
He's been up to the task there. Plenty of shots by Dallas. A great first save by him, extending himself low across the goal line to get his right hand on the ball.
So Van Aaron keeps them in. Mike Powers the other way. On the right, ball is played back. Now to Chapman. Lead ball, Freddie Thompson sneaking through. Sobieski coming out, knocking it away. And we've got a foul called on Dallas. And that'll be the 3rd on the Sidekicks, 1 on Baltimore. But how quickly things came back the other way. A reminder that coming up next, something new. Major League Volleyball follows this MISL telecast.
Let's see what kind of configuration Ken Cooper comes up on this set play. You see them setting up. There was a lot of preparation for not really, they didn't show us much when they actually executed it.
Well, you gave it the big build-up, but Drago would like to get that one back, I think. Stankovic with a header the other way. McLeod, who almost scored against Van Aaron. Here's Drago again for Chapman. Stankovic, everybody's getting a touch. They work everybody into it. Chapman now for Drago. Chapman runs into space, but Sobieski maintains his position and makes the easy play. Here's a toss for Hayden Knight. No one on that side. Now Freddie Thompson has to close him. Hayden Knight in a 2-2 tie. Knight across the way on the left. Leite. Kicked down by Chapman. That's going to be the 2nd Baltimore foul.
Tripping foul. Called against the left.
More than 12,000 on hand. In fact, almost 13. Great afternoon crowd here in Dallas. Tattoo tried to play it across. He saw Leite, but it was blocked. Here's Hayden Knight again. On the double team, it's blocked by Freddie Thompson. Lawson on the gamble. He'll win that gamble. Good play by the doctor to Tattoo in front. Score! Kevin Smith! 3-2 Dallas.
A lot of good hard work by Doc Lawson there initially, but the key was Tattoo laid that ball first time time when it came to him to find Smith at the far post. So a lot of elements involved there to create a scoring chance, and the execution was crisp. Here's Lawson winning the ball off the boards. Tattoo first time. That's all the difference. Smith is there and just packs it inside the far post.
Kevin Smith, an original sidekick. He became a father on February the 8th. His wife Sally gave birth to Haley. This one's for Haley.
You see Doc Lawson's power there, being able to hold off Thompson, and you see Tattoo's vision, able to pick the man out at the far post on the first touch.
They're still on their feet in Dallas. The Kevin Smith goal from Tattoo gives the Sidekicks a 1-goal lead. We'll be coming right back to Dallas.
What do you get for the man who has everything? Get him a Volkswagen Vanagon to carry it in.
What did Moet do after making great champagnes in France? Chandon. Chandon, California's encore to champagne.
Back in Dallas, and we'll see if Dallas can get any momentum out of this. They've just taken the lead, 3-2, Radwanski. Plays it over on the far side, kicked ahead, Carpet with a nice play, but a little too far for Radwanski to do something with it. Don't count the blast out yet. There's a lot of time left, 8:47 to go. Regulation time, fourth quarter, an open man. Ronson guns it. Sobieski looked like he missed a piece of it from that side, although they're crediting him with a save. That's tough to call from my angle.
The ball had a little bit of a dip on it, which may have fooled him at the last second. He didn't get as much on it as I thought he was going to initially.
McKenzie on the right. Picked up by Mike Brady. Brady takes a bump for Radwanski. Two guys who had outstanding college careers. And the foul is going to be called there on Dallas. That's 4. 2 on Baltimore. The ball is played to McKenzie. Across the way to Tim Whitman against Kevin Smith. Right side. Ronson on the double team. Carpet coming in with support. He's taken down. Ronson gets that foul, and that's 3. So fouls could be a factor before this one's over. 4 on Dallas, 3 on Baltimore with 8:11 to go. Dallas leading 3-2. Tattoo has 2 goals and 1 assist. Smith for Radwanski. Radwanski settling it in the right corner. Waits for some help. Kevin Smith on along with Tattoo, Knight, and Uremovich. The ball is taken away. Brady on the go. 3-on-3 as Radwanski hustles back. Nice touch to the outside by Brady, but Hayden Knight stays with him. Brady on a good follow-up, but now Uremovich is there. Hard work by Mike Brady.
Brady not afraid to run at people, and no doubt about it. He's trying to take them on.
Smith leads it in the corner for Tattoo. Tattoo now picked up again by Bruce Savage. Smith trying to go long, hoping Tattoo could do something, and he does. Apparently in that corner, draw the foul. He just disappeared from view. That's going to even up the fouls at 4 apiece. Restart from the near boards. Uremovich in the corner. Tattoo with Savage. Turns him to the box. The shot, but it's right at Van Aaron. And again, Tattoo shows the quickness.
How he makes space for himself, it's difficult to really... How can you teach that to someone? He has no space, and suddenly he's able to find an angle for a shot.
I think you used the word before when you said instinct. He's got that and more. I'd like to be his agent. To Drago. Right side. Stankovic holding it outside the box. Right side. It's a 3-2 lead for Dallas. Savage with it. Stankovic now drawing some attention. 2 players. First Tattoo and then Kites. Right side, Savage. A 3-2 lead for Dallas. Here's Thompson off the boards, and it took a crazy hop all the way to the opposite side. Uremovich with Chapman on him. Kicked up for Mickey Kites. For Tattoo block, but Kites in the follow-up. Savage knocks it away, and he paid for that as he and Kites collide. But a heads-up play by Savage. Savage isn't given credit for the strength that he has, despite being so lean, and now Knight pushing into Drago. We talk about Bruce Savage, only 5'8", 150, and Drago even smaller.
You see Drago has Hayden Knight beat. Hayden Knight does what every good defender does, just puts his body in front.
Loose ball in the box. Chapman couldn't squeeze through. Well, worse than that, they're going to call a foul on Chapman. Well, that makes it 5 apiece with 6:20 to go.
This should be interesting because you watch the reactions of the referees. They're well aware that this next foul is critical, and you wonder what it's going to take to have them really make that call.
Well, you've got players on both sides, very skilled at drawing fouls, and Tattoo and Drago are the two that quickly come to mind. So we'll see if either side can draw it. Savage for Chapman. 3-2, the lead is Dallas's. On the right. Stankovic, broken up. Kaides wanted Tattoo, but Stankovic is there. Now to Bruce Savage. Just back from another engagement at the All-Star game. You can pencil in his name just about every year. Stankovic, another perennial All-Star. Broken up by McLeod and is flicked right into the Baltimore bench. And that should give us an official's timeout. And that's what we'll get. An official's timeout. Ken Cooper and Gordon Jago will talk things over. There's 5:37 to go. Dallas by 1.
Once upon a time, millions of us roamed the bathrooms of America.
We're bull shavers, convinced we had to use shavers with all kinds of expensive extras.
But we don't pay an arm and a hoof anymore, 'cause us bull shavers are becoming
Bic shavers. Bic gives us an extraordinary shave at an extraordinary price, without bells or whistles. To pay more makes you, well, bullheaded. Try the Bic for normal or sensitive skin, and you too will have a beef.
With bull shaving.
Patient, dining table. Diagnosis, worn finish, no shine. Treatment, facelift.
Now there's a facelift for furniture. New Formby's Facelift, my secret for bringing dull furniture back to life. Facelift revives the shine without refinishing. In less than an hour, you can smooth away the wear and tear and lay down a bright new facelift finish that will shine for years to come. That's what Formby's Facelift is all about. Making your furniture look alive and beautiful again without major surgery.
Don't forget, as they do the wave here in Dallas, that coming up next, women's professional volleyball. It's a brand new league, and it's Major League Volleyball on ESPN, part of some more ESPN regular programming in the world of sports, and volleyball picking up, certainly in its popularity. Dallas in one-goal games this season in the Major Indoor Soccer League. Not bad, 8-2. Baltimore Blast are 7-6. That's a bit of a surprise there. In overtime, Baltimore is 4-1, and Dallas is 3-1. Those one-goal games, critical. They come back to hurt you, the ones that you lose. Drago to Stankovic. Digging to the right side. Radwanski breaks it up. David Stride has had a nice game today, as has everyone really on the Dallas defensive side. Uremovich, Hayden Knight, Doc Lawson. Ball picked up now by Whitman. Lawson in the corner. That Dallas defense has to get a maximum performance from everyone when you consider that Victor Moreland is out, and he provides a lot more than just blocking shots. He leads the club in that category, but he's such a leader out there. Stride going long, too long, and it goes out of play. We are down to 5:03. Still a lot of time in indoor soccer, and if Baltimore chooses, they can go with a sixth attacker like they did the other night in a come-from-behind win against San Diego.
They've got some dangerous players out there right now. Drago and Chapman have been combining well. Stankovic always a threat. He's so powerful around the top of the box there, getting his shots off, and Tim Whitman with the speed out of the back.
Keith Van Aaron, who could score himself. He scored one goal already this year. And he's had more than one occasion to score goals. In fact, he was the first goalkeeper to score in the MISL. Van Aaron from midfield, going long for Chapman. In the corner, Kevin Smith with a header. Smith will pick it up. Leads to the right. Radwanski with a good run. Has a man breaking. Carpen save. Van Aaron keeps the blast chances alive. Smith, right side to Radwanski. Carpen hit it first time, but Van Aaron was there.
What a competitor Van Aaron is, too. He's there when you need him, and he's willing to sacrifice his body. You see him throwing it down to the far post there to make that save.
He just seems to get better and better every year. He had the lowest goals against average in the MISL last year, breaking the previous mark set by Slobo Lievsky. Last year it was 3.66. Lawson. This year he's even lower at the start of the game, and it's not going to do much to his average with this performance. It'll help him. Hayden Knight. 4 minutes straight up remaining in the game. 3 for Dallas. 2 for Baltimore. We're at the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Almost 13,000 on hand. A great MISL weekend with 18 plus in Cleveland, 12 plus in Chicago. On the left side, Chapman. To the right side, McKenzie. Back into the corner. Broken up. It goes far post. Sobieski, an acrobatic punch out.
Great reaction by Sobieski as he had to reach back to get his hand on that one.
Stankovic blocked once, and then Lawson will clear it out. Because the Tacoma game was a late start last night, we didn't get any information on that game other than the fact that Tacoma lost. But one would imagine on a Saturday night they would have a great crowd as Keith Van Aren calls a timeout. We'll speculate we may see the 6th attacker when we return. There's 3:22 to go in the game, and the Dallas Sidekicks lead by 1. We'll see if Baltimore will do that. If they do, look for Dave McKenzie when we return.
When the temperature drops below 30, remember the spark plug that's tested to start below 0. Champion, we go to ridiculous extremes to test the reliability of our spark plugs.
Well, both teams can talk about a potential 6th attacker. We're on the Dallas bench right now as Gordon Jago gives the instructions out. I look at the Baltimore bench, and I'm trying to see if McKenzie, right now he doesn't have the jersey on. He's there in the back, unless he's got it in his hand. No, he's got a towel in his hand, so maybe he's not coming on right now. But one would have thought that when they called a timeout that they would. And now we see McKenzie going for the jersey. So Dave McKenzie, as the 6th attacker, had success the other night, did very well. In fact, in leading his team from a come-from-behind win, Mike Stankovic ended up with a game-winning goal. A reminder that we'll be doing our MetLife Players of the Game, one for each side, at the very end of our telecast. Dave McKenzie, 7 years with Pittsburgh. Most games played in the MISL, 3 times in All-Star. Over 200 points as a defender. And already this year, 18 points. He had 18 all of last season. So we'll see what happens on the 6th attacker situation. Dallas using Radwanski, Mike Powers, Wes McLeod, David Stride, and Mike Uremovich, more of a defensive alignment. They'll be content just not to have Baltimore score against them and get a tie. Dallas leading it by 1. Now it is Dave McKenzie to his own red line. McKenzie looks for some movement. Mike Brady again out there in a critical situation, again showing Ken Cooper's confidence in the rookie. Up for Drago. On the soft touch, it's Furphy. Picked up by McKenzie to Furphy again. A shot off the crossbar. No one is more upset at that one than Keith Furphy. You talk about a game of inches. He cracked that one well.
He got a hold of it, and it was rising towards that upper corner. The last second, it barely cleared the crossbar. May have nipped the top of it. And Sobieski not having much time to react because Furphy's left foot is that potent.
Sobieski will put it in play. 3 minutes exactly remaining in regulation time with Dallas leading over Baltimore 3-2. Uremovich stepping over the ball and now getting it from Sobieski. Right back to the veteran goalkeeper. Sobieski extremely popular here in Dallas. He was the Budweiser most valuable player on this team last year. On the right side, Radwanski has it kicked out by Savage. Radwanski hanging tough. Knocks it ahead. Whitman blasting it back. It's broken up by Radwanski. Now it's Drago with 2:38 to go. And the lead is Dallas at 3-2. McKenzie. Slow build-up. There's a lot of time left. 2:28 left. And there's no reason to panic right now. Baltimore working it around. They want to get the good chances away, and they don't want to get burnt for a goal the other way into their empty net. Furphy to McKenzie. And back and forth it goes. Now Furphy with the penetrating pass to Chapman. He lost it. Mike Powers trying to dribble into space so he can shoot it. He's taken down by Drago. No foul. That would have been the 6th. And the Dallas bench is real upset. Gordon Jago upset because his team would have had a power play. Stankovic sliding it right to Dave McKenzie. Around the boards. Brady off the boards. Drago ties it at 3. So instead of a foul, a 6th foul the other way, as Dallas thought they should have had, Drago gets the equalizer.
Baltimore again successful in this 6th attacker situation. They pulled one out against San Diego in front of a big crowd in Baltimore the other night. You see it working. Drago setting himself up. Brady just using the boards, which causes Sobieski to commit near those boards. So when the ball does pop out, Drago is able to shove it into a nearly empty net.
Well, that may have been his easiest goal of the day. but they all count, and that man there, Drago, gets the goal. He's going to be very popular with his Baltimore teammates because, as Ken Cooper told us before the game, they know that he can win it at any time. He's the game breaker. When they're out of a game, he can bring them back. When they're tied, he can get that game-winning goal. And he said to us, and he's right, obviously the bottom line is winning.
You can make the difference. Let's help him out.
First Baltimore hat trick, and it scored first hat trick of for Drago with the Baltimore Blast. Baltimore's had other hat tricks this year. Stankovic, in fact, has had 2 4-goal games. On the right side, Lawson. 1:30 to go in regulation time, and obviously Van Aaron is back the other way. Lawson to the right side. Very carefully moving the ball. To the right wing boards. In the corner, played around off of Tattoo and Savage. It's still loose. Stankovic knocks it with the right foot as he's bumped by Hayden Knight. Up for Drago. Leite with good speed coming back to help him. Off the board. Sobieski just getting there. That ball seemed to die on him. On the right side for Leite. 1:01 left. Regulation time. Dead even at 3. Lawson tucks it to the outside against Drago. To Tattoo. Picked up by Savage. Tattoo still with the ball. Dribbling and rolling over it. To the left side it goes. Hayden Knight, 42 seconds left. Regulation time. It's dead even at 3. To the left wing boards, Tattoo, and Savage is there again. Or still might be the better word. Kevin Smith on the right foot. Puts the brakes on. Hayden Knight, people standing now at the Reunion Arena. 27 seconds left. Knight fakes, shoots low, blocked straight up by Tim Whitman. It goes into the crowd, but more importantly for Dallas, it's a corner kick coming up.
You see Baltimore just trying to contain there. They're very aware that they don't want to give up the 6th foul. You don't want to be coming in to an overtime situation, a man down, and so they're just collapsing back and not pressing too hard because that would be a fatal mistake at this point to get a 6th foul.
And now Dallas, again, takes a wise timeout. They want to come up here, Ty, obviously, with a set play. They've got plenty of time, but they want to try and make this opportunity count. And at the very least, they don't want to give one up here. If it does go into overtime, they may take their chances there. But this is a funny game, and Dallas had a chance to win it. They're up by the goal, but as we were saying before, there's plenty of time in this game. In Baltimore, you've got to admire their poise and their patience. They worked it around for the good shot, and there was Drago able to basically walk it in.
They are an experienced team. They have several all-stars, and they showed why they were able to find Drago up in front in a pressure situation when it counted to tie this ball game up.
Well, that last graphic showed you that if we do go into overtime, both teams have winning records in the extra session. And, in fact, this Dallas team with only 14 players beat St. Louis in the double overtime. That was on Friday night. And if this game goes late, we may be joining our next game a little bit late. Major League Volleyball coming up next here on ESPN. 23 seconds left. A lot of pressure in this situation here. Dallas wants to win it more so than you could say in a normal situation because of the crowd. When you get 13,000 in here, you want to treat them to a win.
And at this point, it looks like, obviously on this play, but on the whole, the last 20 seconds or so, Kenny Cooper has Baltimore playing for the tie. He wants to avoid the 6-foul situation. He wants to come out, be able to talk to his boys, and come out with a fresh start. He has more confidence that way with this crowd factor.
Everybody up on their feet in Dallas. Kevin Smith on the restart. From the far boards, Marty Templin making sure everyone is set before he blows the whistle, and here we go. Smith off the boards. It comes right back to Tim Whitman. He sends it long, and it went over 3 lines. And back it'll come to the first red line, and now 18 seconds left in regulation. Even at 3. David Stride. Ready to go. Left side boards, Tattoo. Wanting to turn. Does. The left-footed shot is blocked. Whitman in there. Loose ball, Leite, and that's blocked. Out for Stride. He'll settle it. The shot off the post. Rebound to Lawson. 7 seconds off the glass. Just got by Tattoo. Smith holding. 2 seconds. Stride, 1. Low shot tipped wide by Leite, but the horn sounded anyway, and the green light came on. But the Dallas Sidekicks came, Ty Keel, ever so close on at least 2 occasions to getting that game winner.
Some great thrills here for the fan. All been on their feet for the last minute and a half. They want to see the win for Dallas, the biggest home crowd ever here, and they came very close to seeing it at that point with those chances that Dallas had.
There's a look at the crowd, and I can remember when you could come here for 3 games and add up all the spectators and they wouldn't equal 13,000. It's a great crowd. We'll see if they get rewarded with a win when we come back. As usual, or so it seems, we're going sudden death overtime. Stay with us.
Charlie, give me a light. Charlie, a Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light. Hey, thanks.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Can I have a light? Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Don't miss out on the fun and excitement. Bud Sports and ESPN bring you the major indoor soccer league game of the week. It's the MISL on ESPN. Check local listings for times. It's 3-3 in sudden death overtime. We'll take a look at the tying goal, and Michael Brady rewarding Ken Cooper for the confidence placed in him. He starts the play.
Pressure situation here. McKenzie, the 6 attacker role, finds Brady in the corner. Brady able to turn and bank the ball off the boards. Drago always in those danger spaces that we talked about before. He's able to get in behind defenses and make it count.
So Drago's first hat trick as a member of the Baltimore Blast, and he does it on national television. He's had some great games on ESPN. The ironic part is that Baltimore has played twice on ESPN. They lost a 1-goal game early, our first telecast to Chicago. That kind of set the tone, I think, for all of these telecasts. They played great against Cleveland and then lost it in the closing, maybe 5 minutes or so. They lost the lead and the game when Kai Haskavy and company turned things around for the Cleveland Force. So they're 0-2 on national TV, but I'm sure they're not thinking about that at this point in time.
I don't think so, and they might not appreciate you putting the hex on them there, but
and I didn't do it on purpose.
They're obviously a good enough team to come out on top here. They showed that by coming back into the game and tying it, so actually you would have to put the momentum with them because they got the tying goal.
Dallas used to call themselves America's team last year. They never lost on ESPN. Then Cleveland crunched them in Cleveland, so that fell by the boards. Don't forget, we're going to be probably a bit late in joining Major League Volleyball, depending on how long this one lasts. And who knows how long it can last, but a lot of these overtime games end in the first 5 minutes, although the other night Dallas had to go in a double overtime to eliminate St. Louis, and in a game last year, Los Angeles and Minnesota, as I recall, went in a triple overtime, the longest game played in the Major Indoor Soccer League. So we'll see how much longer we will spend here this afternoon at the Reunion Arena, but it's been a great day for soccer and soccer fans who like the style and the play of the individuals, and Tattoo and Drago have been worth the price of the admission ticket. Tattoo back for Lawson as overtime begins. Dallas going right side to left with Leite. Blocked by Freddie Thompson. There's the first foul.
Tripping foul called against the Blast.
Next goal will win it. Sudden death overtime. Kevin Smith in a 3-3 tie for Lawson. Out for David Stride.
Now's the time we need to
Stride to the left. Kevin Smith blocked by Drago. For Savage, and now back to Van Aaron. Van Aaron throwing long. Chapman in the corner. Andy Chapman turning, and he just missed. Did miss by too much.
I think that one scared Sobiewski because he thinking it was going further wide than it actually did. When he did look, it didn't miss that far post by much.
And now it's Doc Lawson holding on to it. 14-15 to go. First sudden death overtime session. To the right side. Hayden Knight. Up for Leite. Leite on with Tattoo and McLeod. The guys that can break the game open and win it for you are out there. Your Stankovic's for Baltimore and Drago and Tattoo, although they'll change now with 13:55 to go. Drago goes to the bench, and so does Stankovic, but Tattoo stays. And Savage isn't going to move too far from him either. How much Savage plays in overtime will probably depend on how much Tattoo plays. And now Van Aaron over his own red line. Long pass. Whitman the header. Wide. Rebound Savage, and he missed it. Rebound again. A score, and Baltimore's Billy Ronson will win it. 4-3. Billy Ronson will get credit for his 6th goal, and oddly enough, Bruce Savage, whose job has been to mark up defensively, he almost ended this game on a positive note for the Blast, Ty.
He did. Ronson pounced on that loose ball after Savage was all the way in, causing some problems. Von Aaron had launched a long ball into Whitman. You'll see him set up here. He sees Whitman over near that far post. Whitman goes up well for a little guy. Gets a piece of it off the boards. Savage comes running through. It's blocked partially, comes out. Ronson pounces on it and drills it low through some defenders. Sobieski doesn't see it at first. At the last second, he tries to react, but it's already by him.
That might have even hit Uremovich on that replay. It looked like it might have hit him and changed the direction. But at any event, Sobieski, no chance on Ronson's sixth goal as we now take a look at our Metropolitan Live players of the game for both Dallas and Baltimore, respectively. And it'll be tough to argue these choices, Ty. First for Baltimore.
No doubt about it. Again, Drago getting the tying goal, setting up this victory for his team. He's able to cause problems to defenses, and they don't know how to stop him. They're looking for him. He still gets into the dangerous positions, and they can't stop him.
So Drago gets it for Baltimore, and on the Dallas side, tough to argue this choice as well.
Tattoo showing that strength on the ball, maneuvering in dense traffic, holding players off, setting himself up for positions when you don't think he has any space. He finds the space anyway and is able to get shots on goal.
Ronson gets the game winner. For our producer, Kevin Shank, and our director, Lou Renoni and Ty Keogh, I'm John Paul Della Camera. Thanks for watching. Baltimore beats Dallas. The Major Indoor Soccer League Game of the Week has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by Spalding, the official ball of the Major Indoor Soccer League. This has been a presentation of Bud Sports.
So exceptionally smooth.
I won't stop until the daylight. Make me feel right. I move better in the night.
The night belongs to Michelob.
No diet in the world will help you lose weight until you do one thing: control your appetite.
On other diets, I really felt deprived. With Dexatrim, I wasn't hungry, so I lost weight.
Dexatrim. You can't buy a stronger appetite control formula without a prescription. Just one capsule works all day to help you lose weight.
With Dexatrim, you're not hungry, and you end up losing weight.
Extra strength Dexatrim. No diet capsule works harder to help you lose weight.
Exceptionally smooth. The night belongs to Michelob.
Persona presents All-Pro Personified, defensive end Howie Long.
Some players do a lot of talking. Seems like they do more talking than playing. But it doesn't matter what you say. It's what you do on the field.
It's not what Howie says, it's what he does. At Persona, it's what we do to give you a clean, close, comfortable shave at a fair price. That's what it means to
get personified.
Get Persona, blades and disposable razors.
Now you're talking.
Yes. The big news is that I've made some very important big deals.
Sir, excuse me, but there's one big deal you haven't made.
Yeah, right, kid. You see,
I'm talking about a deal on Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated?
Yeah. A savings more like 50% off the cover price. 27 action-packed weeks for 3 installments of just $9.79 each.
Kid, you're a hit. Hit!
What about free videotape? The NFL Crunch Course. It's 43 minutes of the NFL's greatest hits. Makes a smashing gift, and it's free with your paid subscription. Free. Plus, you get their 87 baseball preview with schedule and their famous swimsuit issue. Major League! Just call their toll-free number. You can even use your credit card.
That's right. Get the savings, the schedule, the special issues, and the free Crunch Course tape. That's the big news. Any questions, gentlemen?
Where are the phones?
That'll be all right.
Sports Illustrated. Get the feeling.
Call now, 1-800-525-5...